Great pass to Ulf Samuelsson. 2 minutes later, Jágr again, the feed to Joe Mullen. 6-3 Penguins. 2 minutes later, one of the prettiest goals you're going to see this season, performed by Jaromir Jágr. Showtime for the Pittsburgh great. A goal and 5 assists for him. Third period, more Jágr. The shot, the rebound, Martin Straka, his 9th. Soderstrom gets no help. He stopped 37, but he let in 11. 11-5, the final. The Flyers have now allowed an average of 6 goals against in their last 6 games. They haven't won in Pittsburgh in 3 seasons. Oh, by the way, the ref in this game makes a living as an insurance broker, while one of the linesmen is an attorney. Sharks, winners over the Caps. How about those Sharks? They've only lost 3 of their last 12. The Caps have just 1 goal in their last 2 games, which prompted Caps coach Terry Murray to say, goal scoring is a real problem for us now. Coming up is Joe Montana, healthy enough to start? Only his applied kinesiologist knows for sure. We do have Fred Edelstein to fill us in. Stick around.
Let's go out to the Cap Center, or if you prefer, the arena. This is the Capitals' new mascot. His name is Winger. Winger says, we're going to rip the Sharks. So the Caps said, all right, we're inspired by Winger. Let's go do that. In the very second period, no score in the game. The Capitals in white. Kevin Hatcher, the shot, the save. The rebound is loose in front. Todd Krieger battles in between 3 Sharks, and he gets a backhander. The Capitals take a 1-0 lead, but that lead would not last. For just 1 minute later, the San Jose Sharks, in their good teal and black uniforms, they come right on the attack. Sergei Makarov with a feed back to Igor Larionov. Larionov would beat Rick Tabaracci. The Sharks would beat the Capitals for the first time ever 2-1. Everything is going right for the Seattle Supersonics. Last night they edged the Bulls 95-94. It's the first time they've beaten the Bulls in 4 years. Let's go out west. We're all the way back up in Seattle. Seattle in white. Gary
One. Let's go to the videotape. Last night's game, no score, second period. It's Hatcher with the puck, shoots, save, Urbe. Todd Krieger follows, and it was 1-0 Caps, but not for long. The score now 1-1. Rob Goodenrow, a 60-footer, beats Tabaracci 2-1 San Jose. The Caps have scored only 1 goal in the last 2 games. The hottest team in hockey, the Rangers, made it 11 in a row without a loss, beat Florida 4-2. Let's go to the videotape. 3 goals in 1 minute, folks. 1 minute. Second period, Kevin Lowe beats Van Beesbrook, the former Ranger goalie, 2-1. 26 seconds later, Tony Amonte beats his old teammate 3-1. And just 34 seconds later, it's Brian Leach to Adam Graves, and Graves makes it 3 goals in 1 minute. And the Rangers win it 4-2. The Bullets home tonight against the Bucks, and 7'7" George Murasan has been activated. On the coast last night, the Suns beat the Warriors 116-104. Let's go to the videotape. Chris Webber, who had 21 points.
First win in 5 games. Let's go to the pond. Some Leaf fans there. Leafs up 3-0 in the second. Anatoly Semenov tries to bring the Ducks back. He surprises Damian Rhodes. 3-1 Leafs, now 3-2 Leafs. Watch here, Sean Van Allen centers, and Terry Yake is there right out of midair. We're tied at 3, and that calls for Tinkerbell. They could have used Aladdin's genie, because John Cullen finds Wendell Clark, and Clark scores his 18th. And the Leafs take the lead and burst Ron Wilson's bubble. Beat the Ducks 4-3. Leafs now have 30 points. They're tied with Calgary for the most points in the league. As for the Ducks, well, they've lost now for the 11th time in their last 13 games. The lowly Oilers looking not to get tripped up in Montreal. They were leading 1-0 in the second, but Donald Brashear intercepts it and beats Bill Ranford. We are tied at 1. A minute later, Brian Bellows shoots on the rebound. J.J. Dagno puts it in. Canadians up 2-1. That is Patrick Waugh, and he was awesome. Doug Waite passes. Zadino Seeger shoots. The save, the rebound, the save. Yeah, the save, the save, the save. This is what happens with Patrick Waugh. He makes a lot of them. 34 stops. Canadians win 3-1. Stefan Lebeau added that empty netter to finish off Edmonton. The Habs may not mind this ref strike going on, because they're 2-0 since the walkout. They had been on a 3-game losing streak. The Bruins in Hartford, that is the Whalers' new coach, Pierre Maguire. No score in the first. Steve Hines shot deflected by Brian Smolinski. 1-0 Bruins. Second period, Pat Verdeek walks in and scores. We're tied at 1. Time to check out the Whaler rookie, Chris Pronger, taking offense to Cam Neely and knocks Neely down. Neely will get revenge, scoring 2 in the third period to give the Bruins the 4-2 win over Maguire's troops. So much for that emotional high you get when you change coaches. The Bruins stretch their unbeaten streak to 6 games. John Casey with 21 saves. Craig?
Mike Tyson says, all I know how to do is fight. The Red Wings, third period, we're all tied at 1. Paul Coffey tries to give it to Greg Johnson. Feels the puck but doesn't see it. Teemu Selanne does. Puts it past Chris Osgood. Final score 2-1 Jets. Teemu Selanne, the game winner. The Jets in a 5-game home losing streak. Baba Senza stopped 31 shots. Islanders, Senators, the game action is 39 seconds long. Up 3-0 in the first. Claude Lozelle scores on the deflection. Isles up 4-0. The barrage continues 17 seconds later. The Isles' finest, Pierre Turgeon on the breakaway left wing. Holds it, wrists it. Score 5-0 Isles, but wait, there's more. 22 seconds later, it's Turgeon again. The Islanders score 3 goals in 39 seconds. They go up 6-0. The NHL record for fastest 3 goals is 20 seconds behind Boston in 1971. 8-1 is the final. Turgeon gets the hat trick. The Islanders set a club record by scoring those 3 goals in a 39-second span of the first. They snap a 3-game losing streak. Goalie Ron Hextall had a shutout until Bob Kudelski scored with 59 seconds left. Lightning Stars, first period, tied at 1. Mike Modano with control of the puck from the blue line, puts it past Darren Pupa. Modano's 17th goal, 28th point of the year. Second period, tied at 2. Paul Broughton. Mark Tenorti shoots it off Modano's skate, but they rule it no goal as an intentional deflection. Sub-ref Greg Shepard on the phone with the video officials. We can see it again. The push and cross-check on Modano. It's not an intentional deflection. Count the goal. Final score 4-3. Stars win it. The Stars have won 3 of 4. Modano now tied with Wendell Clark. League lead with 18 goals. Lightning coach Terry Crisp said, I don't know if there's a better one-on-one player in the league than Mike Modano.
Going into the day, 16 countries to have that knee examined Thursday. To the Meadowlands we go. The Devils were on target most of the time. Second period, 1-0 New Jersey, looking for more. Corey Millen hustling to the loose puck behind the net. Takes his time, feeds John McLean, who scores his 7th. 2-0 New Jersey. Third period, same score. Randy McKay on the breakaway. Dominic Hasek, nice save, but Yuri Himalev knocks it in his own net. It's 3-0 New Jersey. Big night for Chris Terreri in goal. Stoning Brad May. He had 30 saves, Terreri. 4-0 was the final for New Jersey as Buffalo gets blanked. The win boosts Terreri's record to 8-1 on the year. And the Devils, well, they still haven't lost a game at home.
Players spend time in the minors in hopes of making the majors for 11 years. He spent the last 2 seasons.
Due to realignment, the Penguins have moved to the newly formed Northeastern Division, where they remain a force in the National Hockey League. With the return of Mario Lemieux, the Penguins would be a safe bet to make it back to the Stanley Cup Finals. But a recurring back injury has sidelined Super Mario indefinitely. Tonight, old rivals clash here in Pittsburgh as the Caps face the Penguins. Stay tuned.
And that's nice to see. Just before that, I was going to make the comment that many people feeling if Pat Peake could get over that barrier and score that first NHL goal, that maybe he could be going. This is 12th hockey game. And right there, a good quick snapshot. There is a shot from the point. Barrasso makes the save. And as Kelly Miller crashed into the net right there, it's going to be Peake who comes to the slot area. A nice pass from behind the net by Mike Ridley, and high over the shoulder of Barrasso. The Capitals lead 1-0. There's Kelly Miller right there with a good drop pass. Peake with the shot. Look at Miller driving off of the right side. Interference on Barrasso. Ridley also hustling in. A good quick pass and a good quick release by Pat Peake. And congratulations to Pat on his first goal to go with 5 assists he has so far in 12 games.
1-0, the Capitals lead on Peake's first National Hockey League goal at 8:20, and what a big goal for Washington. We talked in terms of the Caps needing that goal early to solve Barrasso and get this hockey club going.
Well, maybe the Capitals have solved 2 problems. They can get that early lead into the...
Here as Miller seems to be in some pain in the Pittsburgh zone.
Looked like his left side, whether it be a knee or a shoulder. As trainer Stanley Wong comes out to take a look at Kelly Miller. Good work by that penalty killing, though. Kristich in the neutral zone. The inexperienced Greg Andrusak went right at him. That's what you need to do with inexperienced players. Was able to strip him of the puck, and Caps got a good scoring chance.
You are watching Washington Capitals hockey on WDCA TV in Washington, D.C.
You're watching Paramount 20, WDCA TV in Washington, D.C.
That's the Capital bench. The way he's grabbing the midsection area, you'd have to say probably just got the wind knocked out of him.
Well, Samuelson's been known from time to time to throw in a little bit of a dirty hit, but he is now going off the ice here as well. It looks like it's equipment more than anything else.
And he's exactly to the Pittsburgh Penguins what Dale Hunter is to the Capitals. A good, gritty player. Everyone else in the National Hockey League hates playing against him, but to have him on your own team is definitely a great asset as he plays the game hard every night. Jagger with a good break across the Capitals' blue line, right around Sylvain Cote and Ali Afredi. Goes to the backhand. That's what he loves to do, and a good save by Hawerchuk. And as that puck went behind him, you can see him sprawling, but Hawerchuk has been great so far this period. Back to and a good pile as good pressure being put again by that line. Hawerchuk along with Keith Jones and Craig Bure. That puck loose in front of Barrasso as Jones and Larry Murphy pushing.
Bure wanting to get at Jennings. And a test here for these replacement officials. Jennings throws a punch. And one of the other Capitals, Bure, still wanting to get a piece of Jennings.
That's as Keith Jones had moved in. Bure wanting to take somebody off of the ice right here. As they continue, and this is a good test, not only for the linesman to try to break it up, but at the same time for the referee, Brent Rutherford, to make a decision on what calls are going to be made. And we should see penalties for both clubs.
3:37 left, and the officials will sort this one out. Brent Rutherford, tonight's replacement referee.
And I don't think Terry Murray can ask for any more from that line, his fourth line. Every time they've been out there, they've been creating something in the Pittsburgh zone, banging people. And again, a good illustration of almost.
We'll await the calls from Rutherford.
Jones brought the puck from out behind the net to Hawerchuk. He had Brown all over him, was able to get a weak shot on Barrasso. There's Bure who came into the screen just with a quick nudge. Unfortunately, could not slide it underneath. Actually, did put it underneath of Barrasso, but not enough on the puck to put it through him and tie this hockey game at 2. And then the ensuing shuffle.
It came free, but it's after the whistle, and it's still a 2-1 hockey game.
And that was long after the whistle on a delayed penalty. Still a minute 8 left in the penalty to Kevin Hatcher. Now Dave Poulin. Jagger continuing to hold that puck in the zone. That forced Poulin as it moved to the boards to hit him from behind. There we see Francis with a nice centering pass. Neaton jumping in from the right point, gets a good shot on goal. They continue to put some pressure. Francis working into Jagger in a bad angle, hits Hawerchuk up in the midsection. There's Rick moving over. And look at Poulin with that cross check to the face of Neaton as he had moved in. And there's Jagger complaining. But just great individual plays by Jarmo Jagger so far in this hockey game, creating a penalty and again creating some great scoring opportunities. That's one of the things you really have to notice in Jagger so far, Jeff. You'll have to admit, previous years, a great offensive player, but many times by himself. People used to criticize him moving to the middle of the ice. He just comes down the lane, lets the shot go. Hawerchuk back in his crease area. And as that rebound goes in the air, an acrobatic save. That's the key for a goaltender, though. On a 5-on-3, you can't come way out and challenge because people are going to get in behind you undetected and
Down. Kelly Miller tries to sweep it to Cote in off the point. Cote from the left wing board. Now retreats to the line. Pomaka. Cross ice Bondra. Minute 28 left in the Caps power play. They got to get the shot on goal if they're going to score. In front comes to Francis. And bad save, didn't know where the rebound was, and it's swept away, but not out of the zone. Great shift here by Dmitry Kristich. Bouncing puck in the corner, played by the Penguins. Off the board, Pomaka, Bondra, pad save, Barrasso. Ridley, oh, Mike Ridley, tried to go to the forehand, and it rolled off his stick. Pat Peak Johansson, Johansson to Ridley. Caps all over Pittsburgh right now. Ridley steals it back from Trottier. It's sent to the line and out by Pittsburgh. Time.
Tommy Barrasso not happy, but a great shot by Barrasso, or I should say Kristich again going high on Barrasso. Want to point to a mistake on that play. It was Ronnie Francis had lost his stick in the neutral zone, and while the Capitals were converging in, there's Kristich with a quick shot. He had gone to the bench to get a stick, and that enabled the Capitals to move in on that odd man rush, and Dmitry Kristich so good in tight as he beats Barrasso between the blocker and his left side, and with all of a sudden with a minute 1 left, Capitals.
So look, the replay shows it goes off Hull's skate. It doesn't look like he kicks it, it just goes off his skate, but no goal. Hull bummed, understandably. In the third, Blues up 3-2. Teo Fleury scores it, tied at 3. They go to OT, it ends 3-3. That's the final. Flames are 5-0-1 in their last 6 and are undefeated in 9 of their last 10. Both Cujo and Kidd stopped 26 shots. Devils, Senators, nasty in the opening minute. Scott Stevens hooks Troy Millette with the intent to drop. Down he goes, and young Sparky's upset. Then revenge. Ottawa down 2-1. Millette beats Martin Brodeur. Joy jumps for joy. And what about Sparky? Oh, is he giddy or what? Okay, in the third, tied at 2. Stefan Richer backhanded in, breaking the tie for good. 3-2 Devils. The kids are happy even though the home team loses. They don't know what's going on. 5-2 Devils, the final. John McClain scored 2 goals in his club record 642nd game as a Devil, and the Devils set a team record by winning their 4th straight road game. Linda.
Steve Palermo was considered one of...
Back up. McMahon, the operator of the World Wrestling Federation, has been indicted by a federal grand jury in Brooklyn. He's accused of conspiring to bulk up his wrestlers with steroids from 1985 to 1991. The conspiracy carries a maximum 5-year prison sentence. McMahon is also charged with illegal possession of steroids. That carries a 3-year prison term. Linda.
Now to tennis, the round robin. Wayne Gretzky finds Yari Curry, and Curry blows it by Felix Potvin. Kings led 2-zip. Goal number 533 for Curry. The number for Kelly Rudy, 44. Right here, one of 44 saves for Rudy. That one robbing John Cullen. Third period, we're tied at 2. Glenn Anderson on the forehand to Mike Krushelnyski, and John Cullen is there for the rebound. And that was the game winner for the Toronto Maple Leafs. An exciting game as they beat the Kings 3-2. Toronto leads the league with points with 32. Wendell Clark with his 19th goal to lead the NHL. Clark only had 17 goals a year ago. Another rematch from last year's playoffs, the Islanders in Montreal. Pierre Turgeon looking to snap out of it. He does. David Volek the shot. Now watch the puck. It comes nicely for an Islander fan right to Derek King, and there is Turgeon for the easy goal. 1-0 Isles. Jacques Demers, Canadians looking to get back into it, so they use the body. But Turgeon and the Islanders would bounce back. Second period tied at 1. King sends Tom Curvers in all alone, and the shot gets through Frederic Chabot, and Turgeon cleans it up. His second of the game, 10th of the year. Isles score 4 more goals, and they win 5-1, doing the damage against Patrick Roy's backup, Chabot. The 2 Islanders superstars appear to be snapping out of it, by the way, as Turgeon finished with 3 points. Hextall had 34 saves.
Stay with us. Lynn and I are coming back with more hoop action and action from the ice, plus pregame chatter from Notre Dame Boston College.
Panthers were up. Chicago's Dirk Graham firing the slap shot that really nails Mark Fitzpatrick. The puck drops, and there is Patrick Poulin to tip it in. We're tied at 1. Ed Belfour stepping up big for the Hawks in the net. He also got a break. Minutes left in the game. Hawks up by 1. Skrudlin hits the post, tries it again, but his defense comes to the rescue, knocking it away. Last 5 seconds, frantic for Belfour and the Hawks, but they hang on and they survive and escape Florida with a 3-2 victory. 16 of Belfour's 29 saves came in that third period. 5 of the Panthers' 10 losses have been by just a single goal. And bad news, though, for Florida. They lose their top rookie, Rob Niedermeyer, for 3 to 6 weeks with a separated shoulder. Caps in Pittsburgh, it turned out to be a one-on-one battle between Tabaracci against Jaromir Jagr. First period, Jagr trying to split the defenders, and it's Rick Tabaracci with a big save for the Caps. Then Jagr again, then Tabaracci. What a stop. 28 saves for Rick. Second period, Jagr out in front. Here we go again. Tabaracci, the big stop. Jagr, 5 shots on goal, all stopped. So he gets smart. He gives it to Shel Samuelson, who scores. You learn. Penguins go on to win 3-2. Barrasso stopping. That's Tom Barrasso in the quiet Pittsburgh net. He stopped 32, and he wins his 250th game. Martin Straka scored his 10th. The Caps have lost 3 straight. In Boston, Sergei Zhaltok playing in just his 3rd NHL game. First period scoreless. Glenn Wesley throws it toward the net. On the rebound, Ted Donato, check it out. The kick pass to Zhaltok, who stuffs it in for his first NHL goal. 1-0 Boston. It was 2-1 Bruins in the third. Ted Donato racing in. The between-the-legs drop pass to Adam Oates, who slides it to Glenn Murray for his first of 2. Murray had a pair. Bruins win it by the score of 3-1. Murray with 2 goals after not scoring in more than a year. John Blue stopping 27 in his first start in 2.5 weeks. And how about those Bruins? They've won 5 straight. The Flyers beat the Whalers 6-3. The win snaps the Flyers' season-long 3-game slide. Mark Recchi, 2 goals and assists. And Philadelphia's Dave Brown scored his first goal in 100 games. Craig?
Florida State's Tamarick Vanover missed some classes, and now he'll miss a game. Head coach Bobby Bowden says Vanover 24 points in 14 games this season. First period, no score. Brett Hull deflects the shot by Brendan Shanahan past Trevor Kidd, 1-0 Blues. In the second, Blues up 3-zip. Hull scores, or does he? The official makes a call. The replay official takes a look. The replay shows it goes off Hull's skate. It doesn't look like he kicks it. It just goes off his skate, but no goal. Hull bummed, understandably. In the third, Blues up 3-2. Teo Fleury scores it, tied at 3. They go to OT. It ends 3-3. That's the final. Flames are 5-0-1 in their last 6 and are undefeated in 9 of their last 10. Both Cujo and Kidd stopped 26 shots. Devils sent
Capitals 4-3. Caps had not allowed more than 3 goals in any of their last 14 games. Well, they did it last night. They got beat 4-3, and they were 1 game shy of a record. So coming up in a little bit, I have all those.
And what about
Virginia trails at 10-3. Simeon Willis is a quarterback. Guys had a terrific year. He's going to be under pressure here. Cornell Brown's going to finally get to him around the outside, causes the fumble. Jeff Hollins picks it up, goes in his end zone for the touchdown. Virginia Tech was headed for the Independence Bowl as they beat Virginia 20-17. One other local score for you, Navy.
It's that time of the year again. Things can get pretty hairy when it comes to organizing your home for the holidays.
Looking to avoid the hassles? Well, we're here to give you a helping hand. On this edition of
It can be such a scramble around this time of year.
Eric Brett with the reverse. Goring fumbles the ball. Now he's throwing it over to Terry Dean. He might score. There's a flag on the play as Florida gets a touchdown.
Let us guide you through some Plays of the Week home improvement tips. We have, of course, some great do-it-yourself ideas.
Picked up by Sprewell. Green couldn't get to it. Ahead to Weber. Weber on the drive he gets it, and he's fouled. Over to Yager. Yager moving. Yager, look at the moves. Again, Yager in. Yager scores! Oh, what a magnificent goal!
Check all of your doors at this time of the year, particularly those back doors.
Larry Johnson has him in his face. The block shot. The no-look pass. Here's Klein. Driving with the so-called hand that was hurt. How about that exchange? Always check the windows.
Backhands it up for Buffalo. Quintel at center. Took a hit from Ray. The glass shatters.
They need a new glass floor as well as a new arena.
Be sure to double-check your electrical system.
Steve Smith had the 3 that could have won it at the end of the game. Both were wide-open shots.
Remember, this is a family project, so be sure to get the kid involved. Kid comes out with it. What an effort. Look at this. Behind the back twice. The Murray. What a play. What a play by Jason Kidd. So start your home improvement plan now. Don't wait until the last second.
Here's the snap. Here's the spot. The kick is away. It is long. It is high. It is good! It is good! Boston College wins! Unbelievable! Wins! David Gordon kicks from 41 yards away.
Still to come on the big show, our Sunday chat with Jerry Rice, who talks about his competitive fire that still burns.
You just piss me off more. And, you know, when you do that, I'm just looking forward to making plays.
To serve as team captain. How did he react to the dubious honor? Mogilny replied, "Oh, God, I don't want that. You're not supposed to choose me. I'm Russian." Sunday night, with a big C stitched on his jersey, Mogilny took on the Sharks and took on Jimmy Waite. Mogilny with the shot. Hawerchuk is there for his second goal of the game. 4-1 Sabres. Out with Waite, in with Arthur's Ear Bay. Didn't help. Third period, Donald Audette, the slapper, 6-2. Although give credit to the Sharks, they rallied. Not enough. The final of 6-5. Sabres convert 3 of 4 power play goals. Despite the loss, the Sharks complete their most successful road trip in their short history, 3-3-1. The Eagles and 76ers lost on Sunday. What about the Flyers? Yep, in overtime. Pierre Turgeon ties it at 3 in the
dispute. After dead silence, it was the second time they've met in 2 days. They talked for more than 5 hours on Sunday, so maybe that's a good sign. The Toronto Maple Leafs, after starting out the season with an NHL record 10-game winning streak, have now won only 5 of their last 12 games. Leafs took that streak into Vancouver. Rough stuff from some of the little guys. Pavel Bure and John Cullen get into it. Getting into it is Josie Charbonneau from Murray Craven. Craven gave the Vancouver Canucks a 2-1 lead. Wendell Clark led the charge back. 2-on-1 as Doug Gilmour with him. Forget the pass. I think I'll shoot it and score myself. That tied things at 2-all. Third period, 3-2 Toronto. This time Clark does pass to Gilmour. Gilmour from the slot scores at his 6th, made it 4-2 Leafs. And, of course, whenever Toronto gets a lead, they have the goaltender, Felix Potvin, to protect it. The great save on Greg Adams, 37 stops for Potvin. The Leafs win at 5-2. We showed you that Wendell Clark goal. That's his 21st of the year to lead the NHL. Not bad considering he scored 17 all of last season, that in 66 games.
All right, partners, still to come on this show, Larry Legend and the Celtics relive some of the good old days by...
He had 10. Once the intermission was over, Starks was wearing the same brace he wore on a broken nose a year ago. And you know what? He cooled off. Just bust his nose.
And then send it to me, and I'll show the highlights. Yeah, I mean, I'm that kind of guy. It's nice, it's nutritious, it's the fast food version of Tuesday replays. Because the best seat in the house is the Florida mascot, Albert the Alligator. The worst flea flicker with the best results. Terry Dean to Eric Rett to Chris Doring, who finally recovers the bad fumble, throws back to the quarterback, Terry Dean, and it goes for a touchdown. See, it's good to be lucky. It's good to be lucky and fake out the opponents. The Teamwork Award of the Week, Broncos' John Elway to Shannon Sharp, who makes a spectacular diving catch. Does it get any better than that? So now Shannon gets up running because nobody touched him. Unfortunately, he doesn't see David Johnson coming from behind. The ball goes forward into the end zone where it's recovered by Derek Russell for a Broncos touchdown. They earn it the old-fashioned hard way. The most frustrated player, the Giants' Lawrence Taylor. A sprained knee sends him to the bench. The catch of the week, Rams' Willie Flipper Anderson against who else? The Redskins. Tom Carter played it right, but Willie Flipper Anderson, oh, is this a great catch or what? Willie, if it hadn't been for Kurt Gavea, you would have had a touchdown. But Gavea gives you 60 minutes of football every week. You can run, but you cannot hide. The Oilers' Gary Brown going to the outside. He says, yo, who's trying to stop me? Is it the Browns' coach Jim Bates? Hey, coach, ooh, man, that'll loosen you up a little bit. Boys will be boys. Blackhawks' Steve Smith and the Lightning's Dennis Savard. Is this bad? He says, I hit him back, and now, and then throws the stick at him. Suspensions for both. Best one-man team, California's Jason Kidd. The steal, behind his back twice, feeds Lamar. Is this good or is this good? Jason Kidd, once, he keeps going, twice, and then, nice pass. Now that is what you call a star in the making. And his dad says, that's my boy, that's my boy. And our worst basketball player is the Michelin Man, who, for $1,000, fell flat on his face. I'm George Michael. That's Tuesday in Sports.
Pain in his left leg, and doctors now think it could be a hip problem. Goals last night, how about them Anaheim Mighty Ducks, folks? Well, you have to see this first goal. A guy actually deflects a shot into the net from about 10 feet out. Watch on the left side of your screen. Here's Chris Dahlquist. Here's Chris Dahlquist out front with the shot. And look at German Titoff tip it into the net. It's so quick. Look at it again. Here's the flip. And look how far out he is, and it manages to go in. I don't remember seeing one that long before. Late in the third period, Ducks are up 2-1. Calgary's Joe Nieuwendyk wraps the puck around the post. Doesn't go in. Here it is in the circle, but look at Gary Roberts swipe it in with his glove. Gary, you can't do that. Officials consulted the instant replay on the goal and called it off. Anaheim wins 2-1. And yes, that was a substitute official. Hey, remember how that guy cheated in the Marine Corps Marathon last month? Officials let the results stand, though. Well, 123 out of 128 runners in the Division II cross-country championships last weekend cheated, too. They took a shortcut that saved them over 1,000 yards and the task of running up the steepest hill on the course. But nobody reported it, so the results stand as posted. The 5 people who didn't cheat, they all finished last.
Hockey
is next. The Canadiens and the Rangers from the Garden. That's going to
be wet, but he's got Mario Roberge on one side and number 35, Donald Brashear, a rookie on the other side. And that's tons of minor league fighting experience on either side of Ronnie Wilson. There's Brashear, 35. Big kid. Gosh, Gary, he's got a set of shoulders that don't quit. There's Roberge.
That's not a fight.
Well, Roberge isn't technically a heavyweight by NHL standards, coming in at about 190 to 194. But boy, he won't back down from anybody. And as we mentioned in the open, the last time the Canadiens played here, Jacques Demers felt that perhaps they were even a little intimidated, some of his small guys. He did not want that to happen in this game. And keep in mind, the Rangers don't even have Mike Hartman and Nick Kypreos in the lineup. Two of Mike Keenan's bangers.
Yep. And in the first game, Kevin Haller slashed Messier and ended up getting a successful for the New York Rangers.
Does Brian Leetch draw a crowd? That is a sure sign of greatness in this sport when you get the puck and you draw a crowd. Even on the power play, 3 Montreal Canadiens turned to him and tried to keep him from cutting out in front.
Boy, there have been some words spoken. Only the second meeting of the season back. The Rangers headed to the net on that deflection by Steve Larmer. He fell right on top of Patrick Roy.
What a crowd in front, though, Gary. You know, you may have been sitting at home waiting to see just a real well-executed fancy power play by the New York Rangers. Not so. They're scoring goals the blue-collar way. Brian Leetch and Sergei Zubov are just winding up and letting them rip, and they just try to overload in front.
There's what we were talking about. You saw Messier and Haller going at it already.
Boy, do they stick together. Here's Leetch with a shot. Nice small windup just to try to get it low. Look at that. Larmer's there. Graves is there. Cruising in like a big shark from the back was Mark Messier.
Desjardins looked like he was wielding the two-bladed axe right there, boy.
Believe me, when you get out of position, which Desjardins is here, you see how he actually had 2 guys get between him and Patrick Roy when you're out of net, out of position.
In front, down on the near side, Tony Amati gets up limping a little bit. He's still out on the ice, but I think he felt that one.
Well, Mike Keane is the guy that got leveled by Jay Wells. Man, oh man, did Wells looked like he took about 84 steps into him before drilling him. Mike Foy, the referee, was on the other side of the ice. I'm not even sure that he saw it.
Wow, J.J. Daniel clears it around. On the far side, the Canadiens unable to get out of the zone again. Vincent Dantas knocked away by Gilmour. They got behind Mike Richter, but they could not bang it home. Best chance thus far for the side of the net. There goes the cage. Should be a whistle. Delayed call coming up. Net was loose. And there will be a power play coming as the Canadiens.
This hit by Jay Wells. Before Montreal's chances, Mike Keane was trying to get the puck out of his zone. He was in deep, and he had Tony Amati to deal with, and also Jay Wells kept his arms down. Terrific hit. Clean one. Watch Richter on this play. He went down. Then he was able to get back up. That's what saved him when Guy Carbonneau was to the side trying to get it by him.
Centering pass near side deflected off Dion's skates. Held in along the boards. Good play by Kevin Haller, who got his head taken off, well, at least his helmet. In front, shot save, Richter. Rebound deflected back out as Lehman cut in. There's Kevin Haller. Haller made a great play to hold it in.
And the Rangers dodged a bullet. It really looked like Adam Graves got the elbow up on Haller to knock the helmet out.
Got him pretty good. In fact, Dion set up in front of the net for the Canadiens. Gilbert Dion, the shot. Dion score! That one went right through the screen. A 1-1 game, Eric Desjardins. And this game is tied. Patrick Roy came out in a hurry to try and cover up on that because that puck was free. And Quebec on our Bud Light scoreboard, no scores. The Devils.
The other Ranger was, but they really sandwiched Carbonneau. Carbonneau didn't get hurt. Jeff Bukaboom did. He went buckled over all the way to the bench after the hit. Watch it. Here it is. It's Amante on one side. Carbonneau in the middle. Man, Carbonneau took that right in the jaw, but Bukaboom immediately buckled. He bent over and went right to the bench. Maybe it's just wind. They're going to put that back on because Mike Foy, the referee, just went to the penalty box. Mike Keenan gambling at 3.1 seconds is not enough time to score a goal in the empty net. It is enough. It is enough time, but it would have to be bang, bang, perfect. And to do it, defensively, you got to have somebody in a shooting hole behind Kirk Muller, and you can't afford that.
They haven't done that. Muller won the faceoff, cleared back out of the zone, and that will do it. So here at Madison Square Garden, Kirk Muller, Kevin Haller, and the linesman. 1-1 after one.
All right, Gary Thornton, thanks very much. An action-packed first season just missed. Last week, you told our National Hockey Night audience you thought the strike with the on-ice officials being off the ice would be over by this point. It is not. It is not ended to this point, and there is some news today.
Maybe I underestimated how tough the NHL could be, how hardball, and they are hardballing the officials. However, it looks like some major movement being made. Don Meehan, the chief negotiator for the officials, I spoke with him this afternoon, and I spoke with Jeff Pash from the NHL. Obviously, some miscommunications, I believe, where they're hearing different things. According to Meehan, they will make concessions to the officials in the area of salary. They will accept the NHL's offer on salary if they get some major concessions on benefits. According to the NHL, they're willing to do it, but not go as far as the officials want right now. What's key here is Pash from the NHL said he expects to speak with Meehan tomorrow, and Meehan said previously that the puck is in the NHL's court. Look for this time to get wrapped up quickly. All right, we wrote it down this time, Al. It's on record. 5 straight wins away from home. Scoreless in the first, Scott Niedermayer, the shot from the point. Jocelyn Thibault, the kick save to keep the game scoreless. Also, another chance for New Jersey. Bobby Carpenter, the drop to Bruce Driver. Driver's shot. Thibault, the save. Bill Guerin picks it up, and Thibault, another save. That's where they remain scoreless after 1 period of play. I told you about
Bill Guerin. Now watch Carpenter stay with the puck. And he's going to be pursued by Guerin. Watch number 3, Danica, leave the front of the net. That leaves Joe Sakic wide open, and Brodeur has to come up with a save for the Devs. Adam Foote, number 52, is going to pinch for the Nordique defenseman. He's going to go behind the net. Now watch the coverage in front. You'll see 10, Corey Millen. He's with his check 47. LaPointe, he leaves him to go to Ricci. There's 2-on-1 in front of the net. That leaves LaPointe wide open, and again, Brodeur with a save, and he hangs on to that rebound. The Nordiques did not only get their chance mucking. Look at the speed here the speed by Kaminska, and it just misses, hits the post, and we still, to this point, have a scoreless tie in that game.
All right, we'll keep an eye on that one as Hartford Whalers, who have 1 win in their last 15 games. Well, I am one that tends to...
So let's take a look at some of the ups and downs and stars in the NHL over that first quarter. You want to look at an MVP? How about this guy, Wendell Clark? Hey, he's healthy for a change, leads the league with 21 goals, and how about this? 10 of them have either tied a game or put the Leafs ahead. Now, down at the other end, this guy, Felix Potvin, there were some people questioning $1.2 million for a sophomore. Hey, he's worth that money and more. Second best in the NHL with 12 wins, 2.49 goals against average. Hey, legend of the year, he's back, passes from God. Wayne Gretzky leads the league in scoring, so what else is new? Want a surprise? Mike Modano, more than almost 3 times as many goals as anybody else on the team with 19. If he played like this, that team may never have left Minnesota. Rookie of the year, 3 of the last 4 have been from Europe. Maybe Alexei Yashin's the next one from Ottawa. It was supposed to be his teammate, Alexander Daigle. He trails him by a few points in the rookie scoring race. Another country heard from, Michael Renberg. He was supposed to get a lot of points for the Flyers because he was playing with Lindros. Lindros has been out a couple of weeks. He's skating now. He'll be back in 2 weeks. But in the meantime, Renberg tied 25 points atop the rookie scoring leaders. Now, if you're looking for disappointments, look at 2 teams, Quebec and Detroit. Wouldn't be in the playoffs if it ended now. And they were supposed to be powerful teams coming in, but only the quarter pole.
All right, and still to come on this Dodge Innovation Report, we'll have our plays of the week. But according to Al, as we show you, some teams who would make the playoffs last year that would not make them right now. Interesting to note, 4 clubs there, Detroit, Buffalo, Quebec, and Islanders. No longer does everyone make the playoffs in this league. Now 10 teams will not make the playoffs. If they started now, those 4 would not. We'll be right back with plays of the week. That would be for next week. Now I look at this past week, our plays of the week.
I don't know about you, but I'm just thrilled about the upcoming holidays. I just can't wait to see the Easter Bunny. I better make that the turkey. So here we go, over the boards and through the glass.
Jim Pack leveled by McGill.
Kachuk and Bodger and both are slow to get up. Van Allen knocked down by Slager, who caught it with his head down.
Wow, Grandma doesn't seem to be in such a good mood. Things are getting a little tense. Good thing we brought a few gifts. Let's eat.
LaFuma keeps it in, gives to Bradley, winds up, fires, and scores.
Here's a break for New Jersey as Randy McKay comes right in on Hasek. George.
Yager moving in. Yager the moment scores. He didn't miss that one. Wesley dumping it in front. Irving to save. Big rebound. It hit the post. They score.
over to Yager. Yager moving. Yager, look at the move. Again, Yager in. Yager scored!
Around top of the circle. Little soft pass. Shepard. He scored! The hands there. Oh, boy. Is right.
I am stuffed. I'm going to have to spend the next month at the Y. Of course, you had better save me a piece of pie.
Mélanger, belle feinte, le tir. Oh, quel arrêt touché à la dernière seconde. Screwed by Jam, not lingering. Here's Barsado over there. Great save by Brad Bure. Hawerchuk shot. Save. Gilmour. Great save by Kelly Roenick. Rolling right out in front there. Sanchez. Oh, what a save.
And a very happy Thanksgiving, everyone. We'll see you when you get home. All right, NHL Players of the Week. Next time we get together, a week from tonight, Dale Hunter, Pierre Turgeon. Should be an interesting crowd at the Coliseum for the Capitals and the Islanders on national.
A goalie stones you cold all night. All of a sudden, you catch a pass on the tape, and you turn the stone wall into a sieve. NHL 94 for Sega Genesis and Super NES. One-timers, cold streaks, oh yeah, hot streaks. If it's in the game, EA Sports, it's in the game.
Sure, you've got a car.
The Canadiens come right back with a turnover. Matthew Schneider, 2-1 Canadiens. Wow. What looked like it was going to be a breakaway for Tony Amati turns into a Montreal goal. Watch Tikkanen, number 10 for the Rangers, just miss it there to send Amati away. The Canadiens right back in your face. Terrific counterattack. Because they had been caught behind Tikkanen and Amati, they stopped, went the other way immediately. Terrific pass to Matt Schneider. Watch this shot. Oh, baby, that went right.
One made the initial save, and it trickled over the line. Game tied at 2.
Here is the one thing that the Montreal Canadiens will continue to have trouble with. And for that matter, all teams will if the Rangers play like this. Look at them get to the net off the faceoff. Both Graves and Messier were being held back. They inched their way, shoved their way, scratched their way to the front of the net. And virtually every shot that a Rangers defenseman has taken from the point, and I don't care if it's been power play or regular strength, there's been somebody in front.
Zubov! 3-2 Rangers!
What a good play by Mike Hudson, number 15 of the Rangers, to take this thing wide and open it up. Eddie Olczyk, 12, went to the net. Gilbert, 17, went to the net. Uh-oh, the fourth guy in is Sergei Zubov. He dropped his right shoulder and froze Patrick Roy. The Canadiens had the first 3 guys covered. Here comes the 4th guy. That's too many. And Patrick Roy was fooled by the shoulder dropping. Terrific move, and what a play by Mike Hudson.
Zubov, as we told you, can play this game. Look at the move. That's a defenseman. The 8th. A delayed call as Patrick Roy stepped out on Gartner and decked him. Look at Jacques Demers. He's laughing. That was Roy's response, looking at Gartner.
That was a pretty good call, even though Mike Foy was a mile from the play. Yeah, well,
Carbonneau being chased down. Lyle Otterline, one of the enforcers for the Canadiens, steps into the middle. Desjardins and Schneider have scored for the Canadiens. Penalties when we come back.
Watch this play by Jay Wells. He breaks it up, and then he just lofts one off the glass. Get it out in front of your forward so they can catch up to it. And that's what Wells did. Nemchinov and Gardner on a 2.
Client has 595 goals. In the middle, it's loose. Brian Leetch, the turnaround, blocked out deep. 46 to go in the period. Rushed up ice.
Sent in by Roenick, and Richter had a little trouble with that one as it bounced away in the shot from center ice. Roenick trying to free it up for the Canadiens. Will get some help. Guy Carbonneau dropped it. Shot deflected off Gilbert. Shot. Steiner save. Rebound.
Be back, and he was.
As Gartner was able to come in a 2-on-1. Nemchinov to Gartner. Zing it home, baby. And a 4-2 lead for the Rangers.
No, it's pretty fun. Can't beat it.
We were all very happy to come down here, wouldn't you say?
I was definitely quite happy. I was thrilled. Ooh, a little snap on that, eh?
It is kind of nice to come down here and play just because we have, you know, the distractions of hockey. We can get away from it also by going out and playing a little golf in this beautiful weather.
Go in. Go in.
Oh.
They score!
Puck. Puck.
Stay right there.
Into Gretzky. Save by Van Baesbrook.
I'll take it. I'll take it. Absolutely.
Get up there.
Here's Melleby shooting. He scores.
Joe's short. It's nice to be able to step outside and not have to put on, you know, gloves and a big heavy jacket and all that kind of stuff. So it's been great. It's been really fun.
Tough life out here, isn't it? Nice and smooth. Here it's a little more relaxed atmosphere. We got some good people involved, and here we are on the golf course having fun.
But when it's time to step on the ice and get serious, the expansion Panthers are no pushovers. They're in every game.
We've got a team of leaders, of experienced guys that I think don't want to lose.
Centers for Melleby, scores!
That's everybody's goal when the season starts, just to make the playoffs. And with a goalie like Bees, you know,
we're in trouble.
It's right there.
We're in trouble.
Right there,
trouble and dodge.
We're just playing one game at a time, and what we want to do is we want to go out and we want to play hard every night, and we want to be known as a team that's going to battle.
I think that we are a National Hockey League team, and there's no reason we have to be bad. Just because it's our first year, we have the right to win just like everybody else.
The Panthers!
Geez, I remember when it used to be bad.
Hawerchuk started this rush. He smartly got across the blue line before he dumped it back to Mike Gardner. And what do the Rangers do? Go to the net and let her rip. Patrick was stopped the first one, but I think it squeezed between his legs. Eddie Olczyk smartly did not skate by the net. He stopped at the edge of the net waiting. Look at him on the left. Well, maybe it was Eric Desjardins, number 28, that actually kicked it inadvertently back over to Eddie Olczyk. But it's hard to score 5 goals on the Montreal Canadiens. It's hard.
Eddie Olczyk's first point of the season. Leach knocks away the centering pass. Olczyk is on, and Joey Kocur.
Hey, Kocur hasn't had much ice time, but he's going to make the best of it here in the third period. Now, Lyle Odeline's got a real good grip on Kocur's left arm, but if this thing lasts a while, we'll see who has the stamina and the strength. Ooh!
Odeline leads the Canadiens with 69 penalty minutes coming into this game. Joey Kocur is noted as having one of the best punches in the National Hockey League. Only 24 penalty minutes this season.
Well, one of the linesmen, Scott Adams, is a big guy. You can see him there on top. He's 6'3" and 200 pounds, so I knew that once Adams got in there, who was a tough guy when he played high school hockey himself, once they got in there, they'd stop it. But once it started, they just hung out and let him go.
So, breaking up the fight tonight, you have a licensed second-class steam engineer from Massachusetts, and a tire wholesale business owner, the two linesmen working tonight's games, who didn't expect a couple of weeks ago to be doing this tonight.
Well, if you saw Joey Koser in his 3 handicap on the golf course yesterday, you wouldn't expect to see him battling here in this hockey game.
Rangers up by 3. Now, Brashears was looking for some heads on that face-off. Centering pass, there's Brashears right there. Brashears will start it up. The penalties for fighting went to Koser and Odeline at 7:40. Both getting 5, so nobody on even strength here. Lowe pushing it in along the line. 11:48 left to go. Officials know here that this is a situation they got to be careful of in this game, especially if the Rangers were to get one more. Things could get a little bit out of hand. Played on the near side by Gilbert. He whips it into the corner, chased down by Hawerchuk. Hawerchuk just banked it around the net. Patrick Weil came into this game not giving up 3 goals per game. Has given up 5 in this one. Of course, not all his fault. The Rangers have really played well. They have taken it to the Canadiens, outshooting them 37-22, and have flat outplayed him in this game. Brian Leetch tipped away to Messier. Messier moving in on Schneider. Messier tried to drop it off, deflected into the corner. J.J. Daniel flipped it away, and Schneider picks it up. Matthew Schneider. Canadiens now have got to go for it. They've got to send people in and perhaps open up some uneven. Down, no call. Play goes on. Now they get the whistle. Jeff Bukaboom caught a stick in the face. I don't know whose it was.
I think it might be Zubov.
Oh, it is Zubov.
Gary. And no, it is Bukaboom.
Yep. See how he got hit. He went down in a lump.
Well, it looked as if it was Vincent Damphouse's stick, and he was being spun around by Brian Leetch, and as Leetch spun him around, it just slashed into Bukaboom's face.
There was no call initially on this, and as you saw, play continued. But he definitely got cut. Really got raked unintentionally, but nevertheless.
Well, the Rangers were happy when Jeff Bukaboom finally signed. He was a holdout throughout training camp and into the season. He missed the first 14 games that the Rangers played. And Mike Keenan said in training camp, he said, you know what, I'm not sure our team is tough enough. But Mike Hartman was out with an eye injury, and Jeff Bukaboom was holding out in a contractual squabble. Yeah, did he get hit? He's got blood everywhere in his face. Man, did he ever get it on the cheek?
Cut right under the right eye.
But Mike Keenan retracted that quickly after that when Bukaboom arrived, and all. Here's another look at it. Oh, gee, I mean,
he got all of them.
Sure did.
Right across the cheek. No penalties called. Being treated on the bench.
You know, Vincent Damphousse kept 2 hands on his stick when he spun around, and it really looked like he got a lot of wood onto Bukaboom's cheek, and that cut kind of backs it up.
That hurt. Vincent Damphousse, who we've not heard much from on a line with. Oh, Canadiens are not out of this game yet. And Richter had that. The shot taken right in front of him. He knew exactly where it was. And I thought he was going to make an easy save on it. Just bounced off him and went behind him.
Well, he got a huge piece of it, Gary, but not enough. He thought he had it. The shot by Matthew Schneider. Look at Richter. He turns behind him. That got through him. Remember the other goal that was scored between his blocker arm and his body? I'm not sure this one didn't squeeze through the same spot, but it did really look like it was going to get jammed up in Richter. He was in good position, didn't move. That would lead me to believe that he thought he was in control of that one.
Second Montreal Canadiens get the whistle as Desjardins went down.
About 65.
Incredible effort, and the Canadiens are back to within 1. Wow.
You know, for a while, the Rangers just looked like they were going to wear them down. This is the first time in the last 13 games that the Rangers have allowed more than 3, and now they've got a battle on their hands. Terrific work by the Montreal forwards. A bunch of little guys out there, especially Paul DiPietro. They just stayed with it. It was almost one of these will not be denied kind of sequences, and through it all, Mike Richter was terrific. But the Rangers had Tikkanen out there, who knows his way around defensively, and Larmer. Tony Amani was up front. The Montreal Canadiens just kept on coming. Boy, they deserve a lot of credit for how they got that goal.
That's as fine enough.
Haleek's leading the Devils in the first. Bobby Haleek wins the draw. Back to Bruce Driver. Haleek goes to the net. It went off something in front. They're giving it to Driver, but nonetheless, it's 1-1. Gary and Bill.
He ends down by a goal. Jeff Vukovic cleared it up by Snyder. Time remaining in the third. Last season scored this goal against Washington. Dale Hunter at the end of the play would make this hit and would be suspended for it. Hunter is now ready to come back. He will be back when the Cap won it. He got it back to Leach. And Messier won it against a tough draw man. And Victor on Danfous's second time in the last 5 seconds. Rangers lead it 5-4. The comeback has been made on goals here by Schneider and DiPietro.
And both Muller and Messier have been kicked out of the faceoff circle. A decided advantage, I think, for the Rangers when Graves can move in there now against Danfous.
Again, they set up the offensive draw. The Canadiens do. Keane will move in now.
Yeah, because he's a right-hand shot, he may just go for the net on this one.
Desjardins, the man back at the point. He got it back to him. Desjardins shot deflected off skates wide. You're looking at time remaining in this third period. Canadiens trying to get it tied. Gartner trying to get it out. Cleared to Graves. Graves stripped of the puck by Keane. But will they have time to get another shot? Muller is in the middle. Muller knocks it down. Deflected by Vukovic. A whistle. Score! Oh, my God! Oh, there was a whistle before that puck went in the net.
Yeah, there was.
That goal will not count. It did go in, but it will not count. There was a whistle. May have been an offside pass. I think that's what it was, a two-liner. The Canadiens are not arguing about it.
There was definitely a whistle before that shot was even launched. There it is. That was a simple offside.
Offside.
The puck came out just by inches.
Jacques Demers wants to talk now with Michael Foy. He's really upset about it. You saw him turn to his assistant coach, especially Steve Shutt, to ask about it, and Shutt said, yeah, they were offside.
Jacques just wanted anybody to lie to him there.
Yeah,
and say, yeah, you're right. We got robbed.
3.2 seconds left. It's not over yet, but the faceoff comes to center as a result of the offside. 5-4, Rangers leading, trying to extend their unbeaten streak to 13 games. Canadiens fighting back valiantly here in this third period. They send it into the middle. Danfous trying to line it up, can't do it. And the New York Rangers are 11-0-2. They continue their unbeaten streak as they defeat the Stanley Cup champion Montreal Canadiens here at the... Hope you enjoyed it. ESPN's National Hockey Night, and a good one. Rangers win it 5-4. Gary Thorne, good night, everybody. Steve?
All right, Gary. To turn him, able to lay it around behind. First one there is Alexander Seamock. Seamock cruising with it. Back to the point to Driver. Shoots one, and it went wide. 28 seconds left. Zelepukin up with it. Flips one in front. Went off a pair of legs and then ricocheted wide. Seamock in a battle behind. Up with this, though, and able to move it back ahead as Ward. Tucks a little pass to center ice to LaPointe. Tipped away from Ricci by Stevens. Kicked it along, and LaPointe moved in, and we have an offside call. Play stopped, and Lemieux about to do some battle with Adam Foote. 13.9 to go.
Well, neither one of the players really want to get things started and take a penalty right now, obviously. But they were having a good battle right in front of the net. Some of the stuff that Claude Lemieux does, I guess, if, you know, from our point of view, we know Claude is...
And a save made by Brodeur. Rebound tucked wide by Karpa. 5 seconds to go. Shot went wide. Turning is Brodeur. Looks like we're going to have overtime as Richer banks it back out. It'll take 5 minutes or maybe less to get a decision on this game.
Saturday night in the Chicago-Tampa game. Let's show you what happened at the Thunderdome in St. Petersburg. Denny Savard of the Lightning takes a shot at Steve Smith. Watch the whack. Smith, you see, falls to the ice. No penalty was called. They go back down the ice. John Tucker scored. That would be the game winner, 4-3. Savard celebrating the victory. right in Smith's face. So Smith goes back to retaliate. Savard and breaks his stick across Smith's shoulder, and you see the retaliation there with a classic two-hander. Both have been suspended indefinitely. And to his credit, Brian Burke has certainly acted very quickly in these cases. We expect in the next couple of days he will act quickly in those cases as well, to suspensions. Next Tuesday, next time we get... I'm Steve Levy. We'll see you next Tuesday night from Long Island.
Going on without the striking referees, and according to Jerry Pash, the general counsel for the NHL, the strike won't be resolved today or tomorrow. Well, Tuesday night at Madison Square Garden, the Canadiens resolved to end the Rangers' unbeaten streak, which had reached 12. Ranger fans getting spoiled silly by all this success. Second period tied at 2. Mike Hudson, Sergei Zubov's in front, and he beats Patrick Waugh, the second of the year. 3-2 Rangers. Raw tightens up. Think he's angry? Watch Mike Gardner try to head behind the net, and Raw nails him to the ground. Jacques Demers says, well, maybe I can use Raw as a right winger. Gardner gets back at him. Sergei Demchinov right in front. The easy goal for Gardner, his 12th of the season. Rangers up 4-2. 5-4 Rangers late in the third. Wild play. Canadians would dump it in. Jeff Bukaboom tries to clear. Gilmour Dion is at the line, shoots and scores, but the play was ruled offside. Another look shows the puck never cleared the blue line. Rangers win it 5-4. In their last 13, they are 6-0-2. Last 8, 6-0-2 at home. Richter said, I didn't exhale for about 3 minutes. It got real hairy at the end. As for the goal that wasn't, Demers said, I'm not going to criticize the officials under the circumstances, but it was a goal. The 13-game unbeaten streak, 7th longest in club history. Mike Keenan deserves some credit for instilling a new attitude. The special teams deserve credit for flat out being the best in the business. Tuesday night, the Rangers were 1 for 6 on the power play. When Carl and I come back, it's off to a place many try to enter, but only a few get in. The Sharks have 18 points, so do the Red Wings. To make matters worse for the Motor City men, the Leafs fast start. Detroit 18 points out of first and currently reside in last. This game tied at 1 when Sergei Fedorov finds Vladimir Konstantinov and is deflected over Artur's Urbay's shoulder. 2-1 Wings. 3-2 Wings, time running out. Baker beats Cheveldae, tied at 3, and we have a wild third period. Paul Coffin and Nicholas Lidstrom, 4-3 Wings. But here comes Pat Falloon to Bob Erie. And Erie will shoot and score. It's tied at 4. Then the game winner. Watch Erie come out of the corner. Rob Boudreau is down. Help, I have fallen, and I can shoot and score and get up. The Sharks had an empty netter and win 6-4. Boudreau said, didn't even see the net, didn't know where the shot was going. Sharks' first win ever over the Wings. They now have 20 points in 25 games. Last season, it took them 66 games to get to 20 points. Devils trying to keep pace with the Rangers' 15 wins. That's Martin Brodeur. He's got a 6-3 record. That's Jocelyn Thibault. A good goalie match early. First, Brodeur shines. Joe Sakic on the rebound is stopped. 25 save for Brodeur. Then the Devils tee off on Thibault, and he's there with a glove. 33 saves. There was scoring. Martin Gelina, his 5th of the season, 2nd in 2 games. Nordique's up 1-0. Devils come right back. Off the face-off. Bruce Driver's in front and tips it in. It's tied at 1. That's exactly how it would end. Both goaltenders, Thibault and Brodeur, played in the Quebec Junior Leagues. It was a thrill to be back home. Thibault, 18 years old. Brodeur is 21. Through 20 games, the Whalers are off to their worst start in franchise history. Taking off the Panthers, Mike Huff in alone, and he beats Jeff Reese. 1-0 Panthers. That's Huff's first of the year. Zarley Zalapski to James Patrick and Jeff Sanderson along the ice. Scores 1-1. We go OT. Pat Verbeek, Darren Turcotte. It's a sloppy goal, but Robert Cron doesn't care as he picks up the garbage. His 6th, and the Whale wins 2-1 in overtime. Pierre Maguire's first win as coach of the Whalers. Jeff Reese, 21 of 22 saves, said the defense was awesome. Correct? The 49ers are once again one big happy family. Bobby Ross made both goal. Quebec up 4-0. Then Tony Granato on the penalty shot. Jocelyn Thibault with the save. 9 penalty shots this year in the NHL, only 3 scores. Then career minor leaguer Rick Knickel in goal for Kelly Rudy. Matt Sundin hustles down ice. Knickel out of the crease. Sundin scores. Shorthanded goal. Quebec up 6-2. Barry Melrose's team would come back. Third period, 7-5 Quebec. Charlie Huddy with the shot deflects off Luc Robitaille's skate. Watch the replay. Robitaille gets his 4th goal of the night. 7-6 Quebec. But under 2 minutes left, Mike Ricci with the empty net goal. Quebec wins 8-6. Gretzky had a goal and 3 assists. Quebec rookie goaltender Thibault criticized the replacement officials after the game. Quote, the referee must have thought it was an atom or pee-wee game. Sub-ref Jim Anderson called 30 minor penalties. Gretzky commented they're doing the best they can. Steve.
Well, switching gears, it can get confusing with a number of teams and their fans and their cheerleaders all chanting that they're number one. A scientific...
Keith Byers busts through the line, and he turns it on. Byers keeps his footing and just beats Kevin Smith into the end zone for a 77-yard score, the longest run of his career. Keith, in his winter wonderland, makes a snow angel to celebrate. Isn't that special? Second quarter, rookie Lincoln Coleman gives Emmett a rest, and Coleman makes good. With an 11-yard gain, he gained 36 yards on the drive, setting up a Kevin Williams touchdown. Then, tied at 7. Late in the first half, the rookie from Miami, Kevin Williams, back for the punt. He takes it, and he's got room and speed. 64 yards for the score and the pretty dismount. Olga would like it. 14-7 Cowboys. Dolphins cut the lead to 14-13 late. Stoyanovich warming up with Miami on the move. 39-year-old Steve DeBerg dumps to Byers. A 14-yard gain out of bounds at the 23-yard line. Stoyanovich, 41-yard attempt with the play clock winding down for the win. It's blocked. Jerry Jones celebrates, but on the loose ball, Leon Lett boots it. Jeff Dellenbach recovers at the 1-yard line with 3 seconds left. The officials confer. Lett with his second major blunder. You remember last year's Super Bowl? More on that later in the show. Let's take another look. Lett, for some reason, tries to cover the blocked field goal. Once he touches it, Miami can recover. If he lets it go, the Cowboys win. Doug Peterson clears a spot. Stoyanovich nails the 19-yarder Shula, and the Dolphins escape with a wild Miracle on Ice 16-14 final. Leon Lett was nowhere to be found after the game. He hid in the trainer's room while some teammates got his clothes. The Dolphins improved to 9-2 and move into first place in the AFC East ahead of Buffalo. The Cowboys lose their second straight and fall.
Comes back right here on HTS. Hello again, everyone, and welcome to the Capitals Report.
Well, it's going to start right in the dressing room, Kenny. He's a real good guy in the dressing room to get everybody motivated to play. He's going to bring grit and determination, something that you can say might have been missing for the first part of this season. What he brings also is the power play. He's going to work down low. He's great at turning pucks over and maybe the best passer on this Capitals team.
On the other side, it has not been a good year health-wise for the Pittsburgh Penguins without number 66, Mario Lemieux, also missing star goaltender Tom Barrasso.
Yeah, but don't let that fool you, Kenny. You go down the list. They got some guys in Yager, Mullen, Francis, Talkin, Steven, Straka, and I can keep going on. They've got some very talented players. Any team is going to miss number 66. The NHL misses 66, but right now the Capitals can't put that in their mind. They have to focus that this is a good Pittsburgh team.
Well, the Penguins beat the Capitals 3-2 at the Igloo last week. Caps will try for a bit of revenge tonight. Second of 4 meetings this season between the Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins. Al?
All right, guys, thank you very much. Pretty busy day in the National Hockey League after a quiet Thanksgiving night. Only one game took place last evening. That took place at Le Colisée in Quebec with the LA Kings and the Quebec Nordiques. It was a wild one. Luc Robitaille with 4 goals, but it was a losing effort for the LA Kings as they fell 8-6. We've got highlights of last night's action. Here's Home Team Sports' Bill Bell.
Thank you, Al. 18-year-old Jocelyn Thibault in the nets for Quebec. First period, no score, but Joe Sakic off the draw from Mike Ricci, beating Kelly Rudy, goal number 9 on the year for Sakic. 1-0 Quebec. The Nordiques were not done scoring in the first period. Sundin taken away from Rob Blake and sends Valerie Kamensky off. And watch the beautiful move here. Out and in the net. Beautiful goal for Valerie Kamensky. A power play goal. 2-0 Les Nordiques. They were not done. It's Sundin and Kamensky again. And it's Kamensky faking out Rudy. Oh, and look at Zhidnik going into the boards. Another beautiful goal for Kamensky. It was 3-0 Quebec after 1. Third period, 7-4 Quebec until Luc Robitaille tips this one home. Hat trick for Saluk. That minute, 7-5. Less than a minute later, they score again. A deflection in front, but Thibault says no, it was kicked in. Robitaille's 4th goal of the night if it stands. They reviewed it. Check out Robitaille's skate. Oh boy, it went in, it stood. That made it 7-6. And with time running out in regulation, the Kings applying the pressure, but Quebec gets the puck out, and Mike Ricci will find the empty net for his 9th of the year. Quebec hangs on for the 8-6 win, despite 4 power play goals by Luc Robitaille. Wow. Final score, 8-6, Leonardix. Out.
All right, Bill Bell, thank you very much. Joined here by the Penguins' Kevin Stevens, and I know a lot of pro athletes have good reason to give thanks during Thanksgiving, but I'd say you coming back from a rather scary moment in last year's playoffs kind of adds to your Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I was actually, that was a freak accident. I'm lucky to be sitting here right now, and like you said, I thank God that I'm here, and I thank God that I can be play on the Penguins and be out here playing with the guys again. It's been a little bit of a struggle, but I'm just happy to be out there.
Has it changed you as a player at all?
I don't think it's changed me as a player. It's I haven't scored, I haven't skated the way. I think the biggest thing, I really couldn't do anything all the way till the end of August, and my condition isn't where I want it to be, and I think that's the biggest aspect of I'm not 150 pounds, and it takes me a little longer than most guys to get where I want to be, and I'm not there right now.
Well, you did get a goal the other night. You've got 11 goals now. Let's take a look at one of the goals the other night against Boston that got things going, and you got to give a lot of credit to Martin Straka, who's playing outstanding. He makes a couple great moves.
Yeah, this was a great play by Marty, and he gave me the puck there so I could go to the net. That's the most important thing, is to get the blue line, and he fed it right through there, and I just tipped it through Casey's legs. I don't think Casey was really ready for that, but the biggest thing with Marty, the only thing you really have to remind him of is to get the blue line, and then we can go from there.
And then you guys broke it open, shorthanded goal. Grant Jennings used to be defenseman, now playing a little forward with you guys.
Yeah, that was a great goal. That was a great play by Grant. He took off. He can really skate when he wants to. He's a player you got to kick a little bit, but when he goes, he's one of our big defensemen. We need him.
You know, obviously life without Mara has become old hat to you guys now. So guys like Straka, I see Jaromir Jagr has really stepped up his play as well. It seems like you've got a lot of guys now taking over different roles in this team.
Yeah, I think so. It's tough without Mario. He's the big catalyst. He's the best player in the world, and especially in my case, I love to have Mario in there because it makes my game a lot easier. He's great with the puck, and to have Jaromir play the way he is right now and the way Marty has stepped up, and Trotz and Dougie Brown, these are guys that we need to play well, and
they expect a calm, peaceful Dale Hunter, right? The Gandhi now of hockey, I'm sure.
Can they give him 22 games? That'd be nice if they... no, he's going to be ready to play. He hasn't played in a while, and that's just the way he is. That was a tough incident last year, and to sit that many games out is a long time, and he'll be ready to play.
Do you test him out? Do you try and see how he's going to react to certain things?
Yeah, I think he'll play the same way. That's the only way he can play, and like myself, the same way. I have to go to the net. If I can't play that way, there's no sense being in the league, and he's going to play the same way, and we're going to have to. He's not going to be where he wants to be. He hasn't played a game yet, so hopefully we can take advantage of that.
As a BC grad, are you going to remind Dave Poulin what happened in Notre Dame at South Bend last week?
That was great. That was great. Hopefully they can do it right now. You know, last week was great for Boston College, and I couldn't be any happier.
Well, Kevin, good seeing you back.
The Caps are dynamite. Al Iafredi saucers it over to Johansson, right back to Ridley. Now watch this. Sit back and relax and enjoy. One-on-one, beats two guys, and Christic says, thanks, Mike Ridley. That makes a nice Thanksgiving gift to number 8. Now the Caps power play, 5-on-3. You have got to score. And here's Mike Ridley, number 17 again. What a game he had, 4 points. And here it comes back to Calle Johansson. And look at this, kabang, beats Rivnak. The Capitals, a huge win against St. Louis. The first game in Pittsburgh, both teams 0 for 5 on the power play. For the Caps to win tonight, to beat this tough team, the power play and the shorthanded situations have got to be great. That's all the time we have for this edition of In the Locker.
Scores the goal, then the resulting late hit by Dale Hunter. A 21-game suspension follows. And Dale Hunter will make his return tonight after sitting out the 21-game suspension handed out by Commissioner Gary Bettman. And also a little sidelight there. Remember, Tuesday night, the Capitals will be in Long Island for their first meeting this season against the New York Islanders. So the man sat down and chatted with Dale Hunter about what he expects in his return tonight.
Number 32, Dale Hunter.
Dale, we saw the greeting that you received from the fans at the US Air Arena opening night of the season. What kind of a greeting do you expect tonight?
I was really happy to see. I appreciate what the fans did before open night, and hopefully they'll get me off on the right track come tonight.
Have you ever anticipated playing in a game as much as tonight? I'm sure the date November 26th has been circled on your calendar for a long time. Do you ever remember feeling like this leading up to a game?
Well, I treat it as my opening game of the season, and you know, it's every year. It's either October 4th, 5th, something like that. So I treat it as that, and I just happened to be a little later this year, and that's the way I've been looking at it. And so I've been looking forward to November 26th.
You've been skating on your own throughout the summer and the preseason, skating with the team now for over 2 weeks. Where do you feel you stand? Are you in mid-season form, preseason form? Where do you think you are?
Well, you always like to think you're in great shape, but you know, it's a little different when you get on the ice and somebody's holding and grabbing you. And sure, I'll go like these short shifts and you know, try to do as much as I can in a short period of time, and hopefully I feel pretty good.
When you came back to practice a couple of weeks ago, you talked about the laces being cut on the skates and things in the skates and in the helmet. Has that continued through these last couple of weeks?
No, that's just the initiation when you come back usually, and you know, the guys play a joke on me, and I guess I've did it for a few guys in the past, so it's kind of going both ways, I guess.
And I'm sure they'll do it to some guys in the future as well.
Well, likely.
What about the way the teams played around the 500 mark these first 21 games? How did you feel watching the team lose the first 6, and then when they turned it around?
Well, it's you know, you feel for the guys on the ice that they, you know, they're, you know, struggling the first 6 games, but we got a good team. It was only a matter of time when they would turn it around, and it just took 1 win, and then we went on from there. And you know, we're playing around 500, and hopefully we can go on from there and be better.
I know you sat with your kids at a couple of the home games. You were quoted as saying it's hard to watch a game with a 3-year-old right next to you.
Well, yeah, you kind of appreciate what your wife does now. With I always try to encourage her to bring the kids as much as you can, but maybe you can leave the 3-year-old at home now.
What did you learn by watching from the stands or from the press box that you did not know through your first 13 or 14 years in the league?
Well, I sat beside the sports writers a lot, and I realize what they do now. It's I got one sitting over here, so I can't say too much, but no, it's you realize that it's tough to watch from the press box. It looks so much easier from the press box, and you know, everybody can be negative on a team, and there's mistakes happening, but you're in the heat of the action, and anything can happen, and you only see what's right in front of you. You don't see what's way up by the red line, so it's a lot tougher. It's a lot tougher when you're on the ice than watching in the press box. So it's a learning experience that way.
So obviously you've been looking forward to tonight's game, your 3rd game back Tuesday night on Long Island. Any thoughts about that?
Well, no, it's 2 points, a division game, and just going in there and working hard and see if we get a couple points.
All right, Dale, welcome back, and good luck the rest of the way.
Okay, thank you.
Kenny Albert with Dale Hunter. The question remains, how much will Dale Hunter play, and who will he play with? We'll get some answers to that as we're joined by Capitals assistant coach John Perpich and our Safeway starting lineups as the Capitals report continues here on HTN.
It's the Washington Capitals and the Pittsburgh Penguins. HTS coverage of Capitals hockey is brought to you by Cold Filtered Miller Genuine Draft. Get out of the old, get into the cold. By Giant Food, quality, value, and service that's Giant. Your place to save. By Southwest Airlines, now offering service from BWI to Chicago and Cleveland. By Washington Gas. Baby, it's cold outside. For real warmth, call Washington Gas at 703-941-HEAT. By Safeway, nobody does it better. And by Canon, image is everything. A sold-out US Air Arena here in Landover. Very exciting night coming up as the Washington Capitals host the Pittsburgh Penguins. And a good evening, everybody. Kenny Albert joined, as always, by Craig Laughlin. And Craig, the big story tonight, of course, the return to the Capitals lineup of number 32, Dale Hunter, suspended for 21 games after last year's playoff series against the New York Islanders. Dale Hunter is back. Everybody knows what he can do on the ice, but what about the intangibles?
Oh, he's unbelievable, Kenny. He's got intensity, hard work, determination, and focus, and intelligent on the ice. He also brings that reputation that he has. He's a hard-working, grinding forward. On the power play down low, there may be no one better in the NHL. And Mike Riddle, we got to look at another center.
Arena say the Dale watch is over. Dale Hunter comes back to you tonight. Where do you plan to use him? How much ice time do you give him in his first game back?
Well, I'm going to use him quite a bit, I think, Al. There's no Dale's been working very hard for the last 3 weeks, practicing with the hockey club and doing a lot of stuff on his own. I'm going to get him on line with Kristich and Pat Peak. I'll get him out there on his regular shift on the power play. I think he's ready. He's going to be pumped, a lot of adrenaline, so I think the more ice time I can give him, the better he's going to be.
Last time you saw these Penguins, a great game from Jaromir Jagr. He seems to have kind of stepped up his play a bit. How do you kind of control a guy who literally can take it end to end and dominate stretches of the game?
I think the only way you can do something against Jaromir is really get into his...
Before Dale, the big game Hunter bags a Penguin to put up over his mantle.
Thank you very much. And there you see Dale Hunter taking his first skate around the U.S. Air Arena. Dale Hunter receiving a nice ovation from the crowd, and I'm sure he will hear it once again when he hits the ice, Craig, for the first time during the first period.
He certainly will, Kenny. I mean, you see all the banners, the jerseys here. It's Dale Hunter night at the U.S. Air Arena, and you know he's going to get out there and get a body, take a hit or give a hit, because right now, being on that layoff of 21 games, missing the preseason and training camp, he's not in. He told me earlier today he doesn't feel like he can play at the top of his game yet. He's got to get into it. It's a lot different practicing than come game time.
The Dale watch is finally down to 0. Behind the goal, 2-hour broadcast left. A banner that says Dale watch, and it counted down from 21 games. Finally with the goose egg as Dale Hunter returns to the Washington Capitals lineup. Dale, a guy who does not miss many games due to injury. He only missed a handful of games in his Washington Capitals career, 5 or 6 games prior to the 21-game suspension laid down by the NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman following the incident in last year's playoffs involving Pierre Turgeon of the New York Islanders. Dale Hunter will be centering a line tonight with Dmitry Kristich and Pat Peak. But right now, the crowd on its feet. We get set for our national anthem. We will head downstairs. Jack Briggs handling the anthem.
Oh, say does that star-spangled...
Wrist shot and a chest save is made by Reggett. And he hangs on. Capitals with the first 2 shots of this hockey game.
Well, they did give up an odd man rush. You don't want to do that against this team. That's the type of game that the Penguins want to play with Ken Reggett minding the goal. Right there, they get a good scoring chance. It goes for naught because the 2-on-1 did not connect.
The crowd on its feet as Dale Hunter steps in. Dale playing with Dmitry Kristich and Pat Peak. So it took less than a minute of this hockey game for Dale Hunter to make his debut, and he finds Peak breaking it all alone. Oh, and he shoots it wide. Hunter scores!
it. Dale Hunter at the top of the show. Maybe the best passer on this team. Look at this saucer pass right up to the streaking Pat Peake. He lets one go wide. It beats Reggett high, but too high over the net. But look where the puck bounces right to the team captain, number 4, Kevin Hatcher. He's given the Capitals a quick 1-0 lead.
Washington goal scored by number 4,
Well, that didn't
Kevin
take long.
Hatcher.
1 minute, 12 seconds. Kevin Hatcher,
Number 14, Pat Peake.
scoring his 3rd of the year.
Assist number 32, Dale Hunter.
Dale Hunter picks up the assist about 15 seconds into his first shift of the season.
Here's a great isolation of Hunter, and this beautiful pass as Samuelson's ready to clock him. Dale Hunter, still a veteran. He sees him coming, dishes it off. Great veteran play by number 32.
Well, he certainly did not forget how to celebrate a goal.
He certainly did. That's got to feel great for him. His son's been kidding him all along. His son plays on my Mike team. That, Daddy, I got more points than you. Well, now he's climbing right back into the scoring race with his son, Dylan.
Off the draw, Shel Samuelson's shot, and Hawerchuk kept that out. Ryan Trottier feeding Tocchet, deflected. Daniels not able to get the shot off, and the Capitals move out. Randy Burridge. And Reggett with the stick stop. Penguins able to clear.
About the big power forward being powerful. This is just dumping it out in front. It goes off of Hawerchuk's leg, it looks like, but there was a big crowd in front along with Brown for the Penguins. Here's the play. The Caps unable to clear. The puck goes behind the net to the big guy, 25. He banks one in. I think it went off the defenseman. The Penguins have tied up this hockey game.
It is Kevin Stevens. He got off to a slow start, but has now scored 8 goals the last 10 games.
It looked like that one right off number 38, Brian Kern.
Around Samuelson. And Samuelson sweeps it into the corner. Francis is there.
3-2 over Florida. San Jose edges Anaheim by the score of 4-3. And in the second period, Ottawa on an Alexei Yashin goal, a 1-0 lead over Buffalo. Tomorrow night, the Bullets.
On the centering pass by Brown, Mullen may have tapped it in front. It either went off Mullen or the goaltender Hawerchuk. In any case, it's now Penguins 2, Capitals 1.
And a nice play by the youngster, Neaton at the point. He slides it down low, and watch this play in front. Brown's just trying to fire it in front to Mullen. There's the shot. I think it goes off number 7, Mullen. Joey Mullen, the veteran of this hockey team, I think will get credit for the goal. And he did not kick it in. He was simply going to the net. That's why that goal will count.
Joe Mullen, the all. Reggett on the bench, and finally a whistle as Poulin touches up. And Craig Berube will be headed off for a cross-check. D&L Samuelson collided back in the Penguin zone. It continued as they skated up ice. And
well, Kenny, you just were mentioning Larry Murphy, but if you want to get out the lingo again, that was the prettiest saucer pass I have seen in a long while. There is a saucer. It lands flat, and look who sneaks in, but 55, Larry Murphy, the water bottle shot, top shelf, beating Hawerchuk to the glove side. But that's called the backdoor play, but what made it was that beautiful saucer pass.
Wow, what a pass by Rick Tocchet.
Wow.
That's something you might try 100 times in practice over the course of a few weeks, and it may not work.
Referee strike affecting your game?
Well, it's again, it's a question that's everybody's asking about. There, I think there's a lot of again pressure, to use that word, to make a deal. I think we all realize that the officials that do the NHL games under normal circumstances.
Justice Sorelli are doing really well with other teams. And I wonder if this shows that maybe some of the trades we've made in the past haven't been that successful. And if maybe we should make some trades now for offense, because it seems like the team's missing a lot of open shots at the net.
Well, making trades is, is not an exact science, and hopefully under my administration here we'll end up making more better trades, or have made more better trades than poor trades. But again, I've been here for a long time. There's a lot of players that are playing in the league now that are Capitals or former Capitals, because we have made a great number of trades. There is no question that we need to play well or play better offensively. Here we are again down in the first period, 3-1, and I have to believe
representation of the flag. Number two, don't they think that after a couple of years it's time to leave Larry Murphy alone? All it does is get him fired up, and he's just going to score a goal like he just did at you. And for those fans that still got to make those stupid whooping sounds at Larry Murphy, why don't you issue them the rattles that you gave out during the playoffs? Thank you very much.
Oh, I started laughing. I thought what you were going to refer to was the sound that they make when Larry Murphy gets the puck, and I'm sorry,
the whooping sound, yeah.
I don't know about the national anthem. I apologize for that.
My understanding, it's kind of taken from what has been a tradition now up in Baltimore, first at Memorial Stadium, now at Oriole Park at Camden Yards. For the O at the end of the national anthem, they yell out the O for the O's, and that's kind of carried over down here as well. But when you mentioned, and as our last caller did, Larry Murphy, there really was a lot of discomfort on all sides, because there seemed to be if not a lot of fans, at least a rather vocal minority of fans who reacted to Larry Murphy's every movement. In their way of thinking, Larry Murphy wasn't the complete defenseman, and I think Larry Murphy certainly has shown to those fans that this is the type of player he is.
Yeah, that's again, I feel real bad about these things, because again, when you're the home team, you want your fans to be in love with your team and your players. And I think for those that remember, and obviously there's a lot to remember because they're still in the stands here, I mean, in a lot of ways Larry Murphy was run out of the city here. I mean, he was booed unmercifully by our own fans, I guess because of the style of play. I think history is going to show us that Larry Murphy is going to end up being one of the highest scoring defensemen ever in the National Hockey League, and believe it or not, for all those fans that are doing the whooping, that this guy might be in the Hall of Fame. He's that good of a defenseman. So again, style is sometimes what we like, we don't like. Again, obviously Dale Hunter's one of our more popular players, and I think it's a style that the fans really like.
David, thank you very much. Capitals Vice President and General Manager David Poile. We've got more of our intermission.
Battling in front. Hunter lost his helmet. Capitals working around. This is Ridley. That was blocked. Kristich tried to knock it out of the air, and Brown clears the zone. Well, back in the first period, we talked about some of those. It was last year, the day after Thanksgiving, when Dale Hunter broke Ulf Samuelson's cheekbone during a fight. Here's Hatcher moving in, and Reggett was knocked down, but the Penguins able to clear the zone, and now Dale Hunter having words with Shell Samuelson.
But that's one thing that Capitals have not done all year long, Kenny. You like that work in front, the hacking and whacking. That's what Hunter brings to this. He's making those Penguins keep their head up in front of the net. That opens up options on the power play for the shooters from the point.
40 seconds remaining on this power play. Iafredi's drive, and Reggett got a piece of that one. Played in the corner by Peter Bondra. Hatcher and Bondra play catch. Iafredi setting up. Bondra back to Iafredi. Bondra moving in. Score! Peter Bondra, overpowering shot, beating Ken Reggett.
And here it is, a goal scorer's favorite shot on the reverse angle is walking the top of the circle and letting her fly. Grant Jennings trying to do the block. That put Reggett out to lunch. There's no way he's going to find that puck. The way it was blasted along the ice. Great play by Bondra, keeping it low. That way he uses Jennings as a screen. Here's the shot low under Jennings, and then it overpowers Reggett's stick. Reggett in pretty good shape to stop that. You mentioned it, Kenny. That was a wicked drive.
Fourth line working hard. Kevin Stevens on the far boards, not able to clear. Caps out shooting the Penguins 5-0 so far in this second period. Now here in the second, the Caps with the momentum. by Trotchin. Capitals working around. Here's Johansson. Johansson finds Kristich in the corner. Samuelsson behind the net. Has some problems clearing. Kept alive by the Caps. Ridley. Calle Johansson. Kevin Hatcher in deep. Pressured by Samuelsson. Hunter to Kristich. Kristich. Broken up by Francis. Not able to clear. Here's the shot by Ridley. Reggett covers up with Hunter in the crease.
And look who Hunter's with. His old favorite buddy, Samuelsson in Samuelsson. The tower number 28, Shell, and number 5, Olfi. But look at that, 5 Penguins around, including the goaltender, Reggett, around number 32. 32 wants to get out of there alive. Linesmen come and help Dale Hunter. That's the type of effort the Capitals need on the power play. Let's take a look at this great action in front. There's Dale Hunter setting up shop. That's his little apartment in front. There's a whack by Shell Samuelsson and Olfi. Look at Shell giving it from behind, the high stick, the cross check, the punch in the face. And Olfi in front also trying to work him over. But Dale Hunter doing a fine job creating openings for this power play.
Gee, I wonder if it's ever taken 22 games for Dale Hunter to get his first penalty of the season.
I don't think so.
Here are the penalty calls.
Number 32, Dale Hunter for Washington. 2 minutes each for high sticking at 7:45. Pittsburgh penalty number 28, Shell Samuelsson. Washington penalty number 32, Dale Hunter. They each get 2 minutes for high sticking at 7:45.
So the Pavanka and Pat Peake. Puck set to the far boards, and Trotchin Hunter behind the net. Johansson on the right point, moving in. Peake not able to get the stick down. It's loose in front and cleared by Taglianetti.
Well, Kristich gets a goal, but look at the pass once again by number 32. And then Kristich, a nice play on Shell Samuelsson. What he did is he kept the puck away from Shell Samuelsson right here. He used his body to screen him. Therefore, Shell Samuelsson had to go around the other side. By then, too late in the net. Caps have tied up this hockey game.
What I was about to say was in 15 seconds, the Penguins will go on the power play before I was rudely interrupted by Dmitry Kristich. Al Iafrate and Dale Hunter with the assists. And it looks like we may have a pair of penalties upcoming. Pat Meaton involved with apps. The lead call, Reggett heads to the bench. Francis moving in, and Mullen lost the puck off his stick, and now the penalty call upcoming as Berube and Yager exchange pleasantries there. Penguins will head to the power play when we return from the U.S. Air Arena.
And look who's in there, number 25, a power forward, Stevens. Tocchet also involved. Here he tries to roof one. Look at that, right as you called it, Kenny. Off the pipe, Tocchet trying to sneak one into the far side. Who impressed me?
Rick Tocchet power play goal, 4-3 Penguins.
We just mentioned the 2 big power forwards have to come through. Here's the stuff right there. Look at Tocchet on the doorstep. He's going to be the one that hammers it home. Number 25, Stevens, should also get an assist on this play. And here's one more look. Beautiful view on the Jeep Eagle Eye looking straight down. There's the shot by Stevens, and look at Tocchet. He's a right-hand shot. He's in the perfect position. There's no way Mike Ridley can come back and collapse on him. He trickles it over the line.
Reggett lost his goal mask on that one. Ken Reggett playing with perhaps a loose mask. He came off.
He doesn't even wear a chin strap, Kenny. It's so loose on his helmet. He's from the old school, doesn't even use those new fancy colored helmets and masks that goaltenders wear. Here's a reverse angle. Dale Hunter taking a stroll towards the net, being checked right there by Doug Brown. And there's that helmet coming right off. Dale Hunter did a nice job there. It wasn't the helmet coming flying off. It would have been his head. It was that left forearm for Kenny Regan's head that knocks that block off.
And here we see it once again.
Right there. Little shot. Pretty good shot.
Dale Hunter up to his old tricks.
There's that.
Defenseman back as Burridge fires high and wide. Shel Samuelson on the recovery. Capitals almost with the 2-on-none. Murphy floats it ahead. Francis. Broken up by Cote. Francis centering pass wide. Shot wide by Daniels. Here comes Hatcher. 2.5 to go. Second period. Fast-paced action here in the second.
To the box, Kenny. It's either Neaton or Shel Samuelson. I think Neaton's going to get it as he was going off on a line change right at the Penguins bench. He retaliated to a little whack he took from one of the Capitals. I think it was Todd Krieger right at the bench. He's in the box. The teams will play 4-on-4 for the next 47 seconds. And right now, Kenny, what they're saying is that Regan had it, but then the Penguins saying, it's right in the back of the net. And that's why Mike Ridley's going to get that goal, sliding it past the goaltender.
He waited and waited, teed it up, and scores his 6th of the season.
Here's a reverse angle, the one-timer by Hatcher wide, but look at the collision in front. And Dale Hunter helps out the cause by giving the goaltender a little push with the help from Old Samuelson. Mike Ridley buries it. This game is tied.
Well, Craig, the Capitals scored a minute 12 seconds into the first period, and they score a minute 12 into the third.
And here's the ISO on Hunter. Look at him taking the beating in front, getting in the face, and look at this. This is what makes the play right here. He takes the shot, gives him a little push. That throws him off balance. That allows Mike Ridley to sneak it over.
Burridge couldn't tee it up. Squirts out to the point. Cote with the shot. A penalty up cup, feeding Hatcher. He shoots, it's blocked. Blocked by Trottier. Goals and 6 opportunities here tonight. They have the extra attacker now. Pat Peak taken to the ice by Yager. Taglianetti into the neutral zone. That's deflected by Francis and cleared. Number 28 by the Caps, and then some extracurricular activity once again.
Good work by the Capitals, especially on the wall, keeping the puck in play. That has created a lot of chances. When the puck does go to the net, the Capitals are crashing it.
And that's because it's underneath his glove. And guess who's in the middle of this one? There he is, number 32. Saying hello to Rick Tuckett this time.
Dale Hunter gets under your nerves a little bit right there, doing a nice job. Tuckett is definitely going to get a minor penalty. He threw a couple of punches towards number 32, and he might be just the only one receiving it. And Dale Hunter still talking to his old buddy right there, Olfie, pointing to that cheek that he broke last year.
That was 1 year ago tomorrow. Out of that deflect. Bouncing puck by Afraidy with 6:45 to go in the third period. Capitals scored first. Penguins then with 3 in a row to make it 3-1. Caps tied it. And then Tuckett and Ridley exchanging goals were tied at 4. Ken Regan winds it up the boards. Ryan Trottier slammed by Jones. Kristich on the intercept. Pat Peak looks to swing it in front. Comes to the point. Hatcher with the wrist shot. Kristich in front, but right soft backhander is thrown to the ice by Murphy. Krieger along the right wing boards. Tried to find Miller. And the Penguins move back. 4.5 to go. Third period. Yager on the screen. Blocked by Johansson. Yager the wraparound attempt. Shock his appearance on the Late Show with David Letterman about a month ago. He has better seats than us. About 9 rows in front of us. Our HPS broadcaster. Miller shoots. Reggett the stop. Kelly Miller coming down the left. Bondra in. Bondra's shot off a skate. And Bondra's hurt. He may have taken a high stick. Peter Bondra lying on the ice.
He's got to blow the whistle.
Peter Bondra lying face down in the other zone. And now a whistle.
See, that's inexperience on the referee. He's got to blow the whistle when that happens. This kid could be seriously hurt. He took a high stick, I think, from Brian Trottier. As Trottier circled out of the zone, the whistle should have been blown. The rule states that if you blow the whistle, the other team has to get control of the puck. But when he goes down like that, it's referee discretion. That whistle should have been blown before the Penguins had a chance to score on Don Beaupre. Here's the play, breaking in, the reverse angle. Now watch as Bondra comes around here. He's going to circle around the top of the circle, and it's this shot right here, right to the head right there. That snapped his neck back. Brian Trottier coming back. Face-off's going to be to the left of Don Beaupre.
And that's not a penalty?
It's not a penalty, and the whistle should have been blown. That's what's wrong with what's happening out there.
Obvious cross-check there by Brian Trottier, but the play. Kevin Hatcher with 1 minute remaining in this third period. Iafredi. Ulf Samuelsson taps it off with the drive. Oh, it's bouncing in on Reggett. Grant Jennings is there. He's crushed. Jennings took a hard hit from Iafredi. Half a minute to play, third period. We're tied at 4. Yager's pass, broken up by Kristich. Murphy control. Jennings. 15 seconds to go. Here's Kristich across the Penguin line. Kristich deflected in front, and Reggett keeps it out. Hatcher right point, time for one more shot. Hatcher with the drive, and Reggett hangs on at the buzzer. Centering pass broken up by Doug Brown. Krieger moving down. Oh, it goes through the slot, through the crease. Capitals keep it alive. Cote stopped by Reggett. Point blank range, and Reggett comes once again. Kevin Stevens off the skate of Trottier. Ridley, he took a hit. Here's Straka with the shot as his stick was lifted by Burridge. Hatcher throws it up the board. His shot was blocked. It's loose and cleared out by Ulf Samuelsson. Hatcher throws behind the net. 17 seconds to go. Murphy and Bondra. Comes free to Tocchet. And Rick Tocchet clears. Down to 7 seconds remaining. Kevin Hatcher goes cross ice. And that will do it.
Kenny, they've just announced who the 3 stars are, and the #1 star selected by Dave Elfin, the Washington Times, the man who made his return tonight, Dale Hunter. Did it feel strange being out there?
Yeah, I did a little bit. It's a lot quicker than practice, and you know, it's a lot of holding and grabbing, and I'm just glad to get the first one done now.
Didn't look like you missed a beat. 2 assists, 14 minutes, and penalty. Sounds like a Dale Hunter night to me.
Yeah, but too bad we couldn't squeak out the win over it.
How different was it playing, as you mentioned, it's obviously different in practice. You really haven't had a chance to play with Pat Peek or Kristich much at all, but you looked right at home. As we'll take a look at that, the first goal, you find Pat Peek on the breakaway. It seems like there was a little familiarity there.
Yeah, I went to the boards. Dima was going to I knew he was going to knock it up the boards, and I knew Pat Peek would be breaking. I seen a white streak going up the ice, and I was just led him with the pass.
And then also there was that the second goal that with the great pass into Dmitry Kristich.
I had the puck there, and I know Dima. He's a strong man, and he outpowered the guy in the front, and he made a great shot.
Did it make any difference the fact that you know, it's Pittsburgh, which is obviously a great rivalry? You and Ulf Samuelsson have had something going on for all your career. I mean, did you find them testing you at all tonight more than they normally would? You and Samuelsson always get together. It's a battle anyway.
Well, yeah, you know what? He plays hard, I play hard, and that's when you butt heads. And well, we butted a few times there tonight, and it's kind of a good feeling to get back in and playing. And I'm just glad to get back and hitting and enjoying the game.
Was it strange also seeing referees and linesmen that you've never seen before?
Yeah, it was kind of strange, but, you know, they did a good job.
Something tells me they were looking out for you, Hunts.
Yeah, a little bit.
Dale Hunter, our star of the game and our guest. Congratulations. Nice having you back.
Yeah, thank you.
Dale Hunter, our star of the game tonight. You can hear the crowd. They reacted as well. Some Pittsburgh fans still around, but the Capital fans cheering the return of Dale Hunter. Let's go back upstairs to Kenny and Craig.
Thanks.
Behind the Washington Capitals. Meantime, the Boston Bruins nipping at the heels of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Let's take you up to the Boston Garden. Highlights of this contest. And the Bruins playing host to the Florida Panthers on this afternoon. And John Blue is going to come up very big here. Look at this save on Brian Scrudlin's shot. That's right, does it with the stick. That does not go in the net. John Blue would come up big again. He's going to deny Jody Hull sprawling to make yet another save for John Blue. But that's all in the first period. Let's go to the second period. The Panthers would break the ice. Scott Mellenby crashes through the 1-0 lead for the Florida Panthers. All right, in the second period, Boston will tie it up at 1 apiece. Here comes Glenn Murray, gets out on the point, fires it top shelf. 1-1 tie at that point. We go to the third period. It's all tied up at 2. Is this offside or onside? It's called onside. This is Glenn Wesley. It's in the net. A goal for the Boston Bruins. He's going nuts, and so is Roger Nielsen. He thought it was offside. He can't believe it. He's throwing things. The Boston Bruins take care of the Florida Panthers. 3-2 is the final at the Boston Garden. So now actually the Bruins go in front of the Pittsburgh Penguins in the Northeast Division. The Panthers, by the way, why is Roger Nielsen throwing things? Why is he so upset? Not only do you think he should have gotten out of the Boston Garden with a tie, but the Panthers actually outshot the Boston Bruins 42-25, that they come away with a loss. All right, as we stay on Gary Bettman's pond, the National Hockey League, the Philadelphia Flyers and Tampa Bay Lightning this afternoon at the Spectrum. The Tampa Bay Lightning trying to climb out of last place in the Atlantic Division. Let's find out what happens. Well, they're going to have a problem here because Gary Galley in the second period. Brent Fedek redirects it in past Darren Pupa. It's 1-0. And Brent Fedek is going to be the guy again for the Philadelphia Flyers as he puts it past 2-0. And Tommy Soderstrom collects his 6th career shutout, paced by 27 saves. Flyers go on to take care of the Tampa Bay Lightning 3-0. So much for the Lightning trying to climb out of last place. Brent Fedek, as you saw, with 2 goals for the Philadelphia Flyers. All right, this is Hockey 2000, the San Jose Sharks and the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. This is the matchup of the future. One day this will really mean something in the standings, but tonight it just means that the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, or Mighty Ducks of Anaheim, have their 4-game winning streak snapped. They fall to the San Jose Sharks, the final 4-3. All right, lots more coming your way here on the Southwest Airlines Sports Desk, including deflected by Jeff Shantz and puts the puck in. 1-0 Blackhawks in the first period. Now, Calgary here is going to get back. Hackett, a poor job clearing it. Al McKennis, the shot goes through. Joel Otto is right there to bang it home. 1-1 tie after first period. And now in the second period, the Blackhawks have gone ahead of the Calgary Flames by a count of 3-1. Jeremy Roenick getting the 3rd goal for the Chicago Blackhawks. A shorthanded one, as you saw Jeff Shantz getting a goal for Chicago, and also Joel Otto for the Calgary Flames. All right, as we continue tonight on the National Hockey League ice, the Ottawa Senators, Buffalo Sabres. The Sabres defeating the Senators 5-2. Brad May with 2 goals for the Buffalo Sabres. Also tonight as well, the Winnipeg Jets defeating the Vancouver Canucks 3-2. Actually, that is still in the third period. A little premature. Winnipeg up on the Canucks, though, 3-2. Nielsen Emerson with his 13th goal for the Winnipeg Jets. Pavel Bure also with a goal.
Cranberry sauce you could possibly handle.
Now, holiday shopping is giving you a headache.
We'll sort out your money matters on this edition of
Go. We want to offer you a plan that you can stick to.
There are different ways of using your money. One is lending.
Here's the kid. Tennessee comes out with it. Golden ahead of the pack. Crossover dribble. Drops it off to win it. Oh!
Little experience. Here's the ball to Worthy. Wrap around. Oh, what a pass to 3-2 Stars.
You can do it by checking.
Another method is saving.
A sure bet for your money is direct deposit.
Coast to coast, Ryder goes up high and comes down hard. Wow play.
If you don't have available cash, try window shopping. Look, but don't touch.
The kick is up.
Miami wins 16-14. And that's as unbelievable a loss as the Dallas Cowboys could possibly have this year.
Always be aware of your balance. Good coverage downfield. He throws for Jack Jackson. He's got it.
And Bure was on the bubble a couple times. Oh my. It actually went down and stood back up.
Get a money plan that works for you, because no one should feel left out.
Still to come on the show, Mike Richter doesn't save his best for last against the Caps. We will also bring you today's best and worst from the NFL. St. Louis's home loss column Sunday night when the two teams met in a Central Division matchup. The second-place Blues, the only remaining NHL team yet to suffer a home defeat. The Blues unbeaten in their 11 games at the arena this season. Igor Korolev scoring his first goal of the season, putting the Blues up 1-0 in the first. Second period, we're tied at 2. Keith Tkachuk shoots the rebound, scores on the backhand. Jets go up 3-2. Later in the second, St. Louis comes back. Bob Basson, second goal of the year, and we're tied at 3. Third period, the talented Nelson Emerson gets the pass. Pass Cujo beats his old mates. Jets win it by the final of 4-3. Jets snapping a 4-game winless slump. And Keith Tkachuk scores a pair of goals and adds an assist on the evening. The Rangers look to start a new unbeaten streak. Mike Keenan looking on as they face the Caps. Dale Hunter in his second game back after serving his suspension. Hooked by Alexei Kovalev. Look at it again. Turns his knee, no penalty called. Hunter leaves the game, a sprained knee, expected to miss 10 games. The Caps have asked the league to review the incident. So you would expect some revenge. Keith Jones, the high stick to Kovalev. Who won the game? Well, the beautiful give and go. Adam Graves, Mark Messier, back to Graves, beats Don Beaupre. The Rangers beat the Caps for the third time this year on 2 power play goals. Mike Richter makes 33 saves in this one. The Wings on the island Sunday, and Scotty Bowman and Al Arbor, the two winningest coaches in NHL history. They've combined for 1,597 wins. Sergei Fedorov puts in his own rebound, 2-1 Wings. Fedorov 17th. Tim Cheveldae was on fire. Ray Ferraro on the breakaway. Cheveldae, the pad save. Ferraro on the break again. Tries the backhand. Cheveldae muffs him. Ray banging the stick in frustration. Cheveldae was the star of this one. Detroit snapping the Isles' 5-game unbeaten streak. Cheveldae, who missed 14 games due to a knee injury, stopping 26 shots.
Hit. Let's go to the Garden on the ice. This game was filled with hard hits. Jay Wells lays out Michael Pavanka with Kolovalov there. He appears to kick out Hunter's right leg. Now Hunter's left knee buckles as he falls sideways. The puck was nowhere near Hunter. The NHL had to review the game tape. After that, the Caps played terrible, failing to clear out the zone there. And as you see the look on on the face of the coach, it just shows the Capitals still need some work to do. A long season to go. New York Rangers win it 3-1, and they're on a roll. Let's go to the NBA. The Bullets were
playing, rented a car, and drove to the arena. The Sabres' Craig Simpson to take down on John Cullen. Toronto fans on their feet throughout. Look at that. They're fired up about the game. Scoreless into the third. Dominic Hasek was stingy in the net. Stops the wraparound. Would stop the wrist shot as well. Wayne Presley was needed to provide the offense. His slapper made it 1-0. Simpson would score to make it 2-0. Then it's Mr. Rent-A-Car himself on the feed from Yuri Himalev, his 13th of the year. You can see all sorts of endorsements coming in. Winner, Rent-A-Car, win a game. Hasek with 24 stops, his second career shutout. Hawks have won 8 of 9, visiting a Canuck club that has lost 4 of 5. Kirk McLean, the man of the hour for the Canucks. Third period, Chicago up 1-0. Joe Murphy scored earlier, but this time McLean stones him. The beautiful stick save. Stayed 1-0 until Pavel Bure got involved. The Russian rocket Bure cuts cross ice, the backhander by Ed Belfour to tie things at 1. Pat Quinn would see his Canucks take it to overtime, 15 seconds in. Cliff Ronning, the dropper to Dixon Ward. He beats Belfour. The Canucks celebrate the 2-1 win. Actually, Kirk McLean started the play that led to the game winner in overtime, picked up an assist. Just the second loss in 10 games for the Blackhawks. Well, still to come on the program, Leon Lett speaks after his latest faux pas.
They're angry. These are angry people now.
Good coverage downfield. He throws for Jackson. He's got it. If I've ever seen one for the highlight reel, this is it, huh? It's worth another look.
Look at that. Watch the football dart off the hand of Selanne Baker, and there's Matt Wells. Look what I found.
Sure. Angling across Faulkner. He's got it. Stuck still. Fires. Touchdown. Ed Hill. And West Virginia in front.
As dumb as I am, I can figure that out. We should be playing Nebraska for the national championship.
If I was Don Nehlen, I would be saying the same thing. If I'm Bobby Bowden, I'd be saying something else.
It's sickening, man. I mean, I feel sick on my stomach. I feel sick on my stomach.
Plummer dumping it over the middle, complete, but man, did Parnell Charles pay the price? Pitch to Johnson. Oh, what a hit! Oh, baby! Blitz.
All of our comments are going to be very boring.
But Alexander sees it and forces it. Good play.
He just turned him loose.
It's sickening, man.
Still ahead, the Penn Quakers already with a win over USC to their credit. Try to state their case in Big Ten country.
The Sabres without Pat LaFontaine for the season. Grant Fuhr day-to-day with a knee injury. And Alexander Mogilny, a notorious bad flyer, found out ahead of time that there would be heavy turbulence on the Sabres' flight north. Mogilny said no thanks, got off the plane, rented a car, and drove to the arena. The Sabres' Craig Simpson to take down on John Cullen. Toronto fans on their feet throughout. Look at that. They're fired up about the game. Scoreless into the third. Dominic Hasek was stingy in the net. Stops the wraparound. Would stop the wrist shot as well. Wayne Presley was needed to provide the offense. His slapper made it 1-0. Simpson would score to make it 2-0. Then it's Mr. Rent-A-Car himself on the feed from Yuri Himalev, his 13th of the year. You can see all sorts of endorsements coming in. Winner, Rent-A-Car, win a game. Hasek with 24 stops, his second career shutout. Hawks have won 8 of 9, visiting a Canuck club that has lost 4 of 5. Kirk McLean, the man of the hour for the Canucks. Third period, Chicago up 1-0. Joe Murphy scored earlier, but this time McLean stones him. The beautiful stick save. Stayed 1-0 until Pavel Bure got involved. The Russian rocket Bure cuts cross ice, the backhander by Ed Belfour to tie things at 1. Pat Quinn would see his Canucks take it to overtime 15 seconds in. Cliff Ronning, the dropper to Dixon Ward. He beats Belfour. The Canucks celebrate the 2-1 win. Actually, Kirk McLean started the play that led to the game winner in overtime, picked up an assist. Just the second loss in 10 games for the Blackhawks. Well, still to come on the program.
Minnesota, of course. Dallas used to call it home. Edmonton soon may. Oilers losing games. Fans and Peter Pocklington, the owner, is losing his patience. Second smallest crowd in franchise history, just over 10,000. You're not going to get a lot of noise. This guy can. Rapid fire. Shane Corson and the knockout of Mike Craig. Does that incite some noise? Indeed it does. Third period, 5-4 starts Jason Arnott by former Oiler goalie Andy Moog, and we go to OT. Told you it was close. Darian Hatcher would shoot. Dave Gagne is there to put in the rebound, and the Stars win it 6-5. And yes, the Stars did win it despite the look on Bob Gagne's face. It's getting no better for Edmonton. Now an NHL worst, 4 wins and 19 losses. Couple of assists each for Bob Beers and Kelly Buchberger in the loss. The bottom 2 from the Northeast Division, Whalers and Senators. Brian Marchment, second goal in 2 games. The Whalers unbeaten when they score 4. Rick Bowness was steaming and screaming afterwards. He told his team to report for practice Tuesday morning, 9 a.m.
But he's going to tell him to report to practice just after the game. Still ahead on the program, if Barry Sanders is out for even a single play, that's bad news for the Lions. But in perspective,
to the league office. It happened last Sunday night. On this play here in the first period, watch Kovalev skate in and use his stick to pull out Hunter's right skate just right there in front of the net. Hunter sustained a torn knee ligament in the incident and is now out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Kovalev will be suspended from tonight's game, and there will be a hearing tomorrow to determine if more action should be taken. Minus Hunter, the Capitals are at the New York Islanders this evening. In an intense and sometimes sloppy game, 22nd-ranked George Washington University and American
Jacksonville as the 30th NFL club.
Jacksonville gets a franchise. Baltimore does not. St. Louis does not. The Jaguars are in. Jacksonville is going to throw a party.
I think that
Dwayne Gilliam is the man who is driving for the basket. How hard is he fouled? Here comes Nimbo Hammonds. Hammonds puts a full body block on him. Yo, Nimbo, you can't do that. You can't do that against a crosstown rival and not expect everybody to get involved in a little bit of pushing and shoving. Mike Jarvis, meanwhile, over at the scorer's table, was more than a little upset with the way the officials were going. When Mike Jarvis wants to make a point, he is not afraid to make it with some strength. Nobody argues as good as Mike. Band, Southern University Band, Major Silky is just the best. The celebration that would not be denied. Edmonton's Lucius Floyd, who after scoring a touchdown in the Grey Cup wanted to do his flip. Alfred Payton said, "You don't flip in the Winnipeg end zone." He said, "Oh, got you. There's a penalty, and now I get to do my cartwheel and the flip." Lucius Floyd, you can call him a hot dog, but if he can do it, get on with it, man. The best touchdown pass, John Elway ducks under the rush, throws 52 yards. John Elway, how can you be so good? Best catch, 49ers, Jerry Rice. What's great about this, yes, the one-handed catch, but he never brings the other hand to hold on. He said, "No, I got this one all the way." Oh, to have such smooth, sharp hands. Jerry, you are the best. Angriest players, the Steelers' Mike Tomczak. What did he say to the Oilers' Michael Barron? Michael Barrow goes after him and is pounding away. And where were the other Steelers to come help his teammate? Hey, the quickest way to change your expression. Jerry Jones, the happiest man in town. He was the happiest man in town. I just thought this was one of the greatest sequences of all time. And the Dolphins are all saying, oh, if just one Cowboy. Most of the Cowboys ran a raid. Leon Lett did not. Leon Lett said, "I'll come out and play," and the Dolphins said, "We'll pick up the pieces, we'll win, and let's just see what kind of expression Jerry Jones has now." The party's over. Swing and a miss. Mario Munoz in green, swings and misses. Charles Brewer does not miss, landing a left, and down goes Munoz. We'll give Charles Brewer, we will give him the punch of the month. The surprise check, the Canadiens goalie Patrick Roy. On the Rangers, Mike Gartner, who still doesn't believe it happened. And was there any happier coach in all the world of basketball? Was there any happier coach anywhere? Oh, by golly, I think Gary Williams will enjoy this one for a long, long time. And now hear this. Many of you called last night and said that the player who tripped Dale Hunter Sunday night should be suspended just like Hunter was suspended. The NHL obviously has agreed. Today they have announced the suspension of the Rangers' Alexei Kovalev. Kovalev took Dale Hunter out. He will now be out indefinitely, probably 4 to 6 weeks with ligament damage to his knee. Alexei Kovalev has now been suspended pending a formal hearing. Last night at this time there had been no announcement. Today, obviously the NHL heard Jim Vance's comments and decided we better do something, which they did. They have suspended him indefinitely.
As it should be. Thank you, George.
Thank you, George. We've got Arch coming up next. He's at the premiere of the new
will suddenly announce his retirement maybe tonight. Lane Bure, now in his 14th year, has been bothered by a bad back, and he's averaging only 10 points and 5 rebounds a game. Well, even though no penalty was called on Sunday, right here, for tripping Dale Hunter Sunday night, the Rangers' Andrei Kovalev has been suspended indefinitely by the National Hockey League. The Caps will play the Islanders tonight in Long Island, videotape at 11. All right, today's 9th race at Laurel. When the coach's son of the opposition comes off the bench and clobbers Kelly. Kelly was awarded a 90-yard touchdown. NBA, the longest shot of the month, Pete Myers, Chicago Bulls, half-court swish. Who needs Michael Jordan? The best shot while on your back. Blue Edwards of the Bucks on his back, throws it up, and banks it in. The best pass of the month, Tony Kukoc of the Bulls to Horace Grant, and Grant with the 2.
hockey, the longest fluke goal of the month, Bruins' Joseph Stumple on a delayed penalty accidentally shoots the puck into his own empty net. The best cheap shot by a goalie, Patrick Roy, who clobbers the Rangers' Mike Gartner. The elbow of the month, Rangers' Jay Wells, who elbows Tampa's Chris Groton. The collision of the month, Detroit's Sheldon Kennedy and Edmonton's Scott Pearson. Here they come, and down they go. The hockey fight of the month, 6'2", 210-pound Darren Kimball of the Blackhawks in the white, 6'2", 215, Mick Vukota of the Islanders in the blue. The worst stick-swinging incident, Dennis Savard of Tampa in the white, Steve Smith of the Blackhawks in the red. Both players suspended 4 games without pay. Come on, get them out of here. The golf shot of the month, Fred Couples' first round World Cup of Golf in Orlando. A 240-yard shot, double eagle, and the ball rolls, rolls, and finally rolls in. The combination punches of the month, Jorge Paez lefts and rights, and boom, down goes Raul Franco on the 10th round TKO. Paez celebrates by kissing the round girl. And Doug Hill was at the game, bearing his soul. The plays of the month of November. This is Warner Wolf. Gordon, Maury.
You. Sorry, ball.
Them reuniting the line, and it works on the first shift. A simple dump in, and Ridley's going to get a bad bounce in front of Ron Hextall. And the Capitals draw first blood. There we see Burridge drawn down the wing against Steve Thomas. A good centering pass. There's Vasky taking Miller. A quick shot by Johansson goes off of the defenseman's stick right to the slot area, and Mike Ridley's there to put it home. So a good Capital bounce, and Johansson jumping into the play. That puck, you'll see, never actually got to the net. It hit Vladimir Malakoff. Goes right to the stick of Mike Ridley, and Hextall cannot get back in position, and the Caps are leading the game.
Well, the Caps leading point man, Mike Ridley, pulling the trigger for his 7th goal. And ladies and gentlemen, that is point number. Takes the shot through the screen, scores! We're all tied up as Travis Green faked initially on the shot, looked to pass it across, but he beats Hawerchuk, and we're all tied up.
I don't even think Green was trying to put that puck on net. May have went off of Enrico Ciccone, the lone defenseman, back, or it may have just went off of the inside pad of Hawerchuk. There's Green streaking down a 2-on-1. He's got a winger on the left. There's the fake, Ciccone down, and there's Hawerchuk with the goal stick in the middle of his legs, and as he tried to deflect that away from the oncoming winger on the left side, he put it between his own legs. There's Green coming down the right wing, a quick fake, Ciccone down, and he's trying to center that. But Hawerchuk, there it is, off of the right leg, sorry, not.
Berube and Mick Vukota, they're set up. The linesmen watching here. They'll not get involved under the instructions of the National Hockey League. A lot of faking going on before the two come to blows here. And Berube from close quarters gets a couple of shots on Vukota. And goes right hand, very strong as Vukota. Certainly got the worst of that experience.
Great job right there by Berube, staying there and staying there. Finally, the two come together. And the Chief trying to get a spark in the Capitals in his first shift, and that's exactly what he does.
We'll be back as they sort this one out on Paramount 20.
There, Hatcher going down. See, he catches a stick in the face. He got up and complained to the official. Not much you can do right there, though. Hatcher's on his way down. There you see him leaning back to the referee saying, hey, I caught a stick. But Hatcher was already down on the ice. Day really just trying to jump over him, and he caught the errant stick of the Islander.
Jam at home, and is denied from point-blank range. Now the shot scored! The shot by Eli Afraidy may have been deflected in front, and the Caps have the lead.
Now Ron Hextall's not even going to complain to the referee right there. A little interference from Krieger, but it was Tom Curvers who had knocked him in, and it's Krieger who absolutely is going to get that goal. But a good job by Iafrate taking that puck off of the boards, putting the puck on the net quickly. And just as Krieger had come out of the net and untangled himself from Hextall, he deflects that puck. There they are working hard. Krieger moving in, whacking at the rebound. There's Curvers pushing him into the goaltender. Quickly, though, the puck will go on a bad pass by Thomas. Goes right to Iafrate. Look at Al tee that right up, and there's Todd Krieger. Looks like it's coming right into Hextall. He puts a stick on it and deflects it over the glove hand, and the Capitals have the lead back.
Well, it looks like it will be Krieger's 5th goal. We'll wait for it officially. This must be the night of mile.
Getting away from Hextall to look up ice, see where the puck was coming from, get just a beautiful tip and beat the Islander goaltender.
Great call by you, Sean. And they're giving the goal to Iafrate, but I'm sure it will be changed. I know the official scores here. We're reviewing the play. Took a little longer than the norm to give it to us, but no doubt Krieger will get credit before this game is over.
Krieger develops that
second of the night.
Well, the Capitals in this game going with 7 defensemen, and twice the people who don't play a lot have been burned. First Ciccone on a 2-on-1, and right here Brian Curran. There he trips on the boards and then on the linesman. I'm laughing, but it's not good for the Caps. It develops a 3-on-2. There's a pass back. A quick move by McInnes going to the backhand. Tabaracci makes a save, but there it is, stalled up in the crease, and Travis Green whacks it in. Pat Peake playing a little bit weak on his check right there. That's his man right in the right corner. He
Backed along the wall, and play whistle down. Acton all over Burridge. 13:20 left. Tied at 2 from the island on Paramount 20.
And a nice hit right there by Keith Jones following into the play, and there's an Islander, Steve Thomas, trying to do the same on Capital defenseman Enrico Ciccone.
Krieger, delayed penalty. And the Caps are regaining the lead with a power play goal.
Well, the Capitals trying some new players on the power play, or at least a little mix. And they had 2 Capitals working hard in front of the net, Burridge and Kristich. And it's Ridley, the playmaker. He'll get the puck on the half board. There's a spinorama by Iafrate. He'll put it down to Ridley. Look at Hatcher in the right side of the screen coming in. Ridley with a quick pass, and wow, what a rocket by Hatcher right there. There's no way Hextall could do anything on that play. Kevin with a great one-timer and beat him clean. But again, good work in front of the net. There was Burridge and Kristich getting in the way of Hextall, and not only blocking his vision, but blocking him from getting over and getting to that puck of Hatcher's.
Kevin Hatcher with goal number 5 on the season.
Well, I tell you, it doesn't get any tougher than the way the Capitals are making it. They're controlling this hockey game. They're taking it to the Islanders, but you give up 3 odd-man rushes, and this is what results. Right here, Hatcher late getting back. There's Volek with the pass across, and Derek King doesn't miss many. He puts it back past Tabaracci, and I'm not going to be surprised if the Capitals make a goaltending change pretty soon here. Tabaracci, although not faulted, except on the first goal, has not looked that great. Terry Murray has to be looking in disbelief at how hard his club has worked so far. A little over 8 minutes into the hockey game, but we're tied at 3. Again, Tabaracci not even moving really, just falling back on the play.
Shot with Hextall down. Rebound, Randy Burridge trying to go short side, but the Islanders clear it down. Iafrate's backhand. Burridge tried to redirect and missed. McInnes back for the Islanders.
Ferraro and Konowalchuk. Konowalchuk is, let's see, glove in the midsection and hauls him down. That's one of the things you have to do as a young defensive forward. You have to be so strong in your own zone, so strong one-on-one. Right there, Konowalchuk got beat out of the corner. Brightis hip check. There's Iafrate dumping in, and there's Kasparaitis coming late and cutting across the knee, almost a clip. A very dangerous by Malakhov. A quick pass. Curvers takes it off the board. There's that quick snapshot, not a slap shot. Gets it off quickly. And Tabaracci sees that a little late. There it is, a good save. Not able to hold on to it. But the referee on the other side of the ice did not see that, and there's Turgeon leaning around trying to give it a little whack.
Again, if you're joining us late here, it's a 3-3 hockey game in the first period. Wide open to be sure, but away from the ice tonight, the officials are meeting with National Hockey League representatives as we speak to try to his pass, and Benoit Hogue bangs it home by Tabaracci. It won't be long before he's replaced, and we got to look at Don Beaupre.
Well, again, you can't fault Tabaracci on that play. Steve Konowalchuk should have picked up his man going to the net. But my idea is with Tabaracci, it's the technique he's using on the goal mouth passes. Again, he's leaning with the stick rather than the pads. Right here, though, don't fault him. Thomas with a nice pass. There's Benoit Hogue, and again, Steve Konowalchuk, a defensive young forward. You've got to get position. You've got to get me between the player and the net. But he let Hogue beat him right there, and again, an odd man rush from the right side. That's 4 goals coming off of the right wing with the left winger scoring.
Now that goal for Benoit Hogue, his 10th of the year. Hextall. Ridley with it.
For 15 years.
Back in return for whatever happens, and in this case, the Dale Hunter hit on Turgeon. If you had your pick of any Capital player, who would you take? Guess who they chose? Dale Hunter's the guy that Al Arbor said he'd take him hands down. There aren't too many teams in the National Hockey League, in fact none, that wouldn't take Dale Hunter. The heart and soul of this Washington Capital Hockey Club. The horn goes to end the first period, a wide open period. Been settled. We are expecting a release from the National Hockey League here on the island momentarily, but we can tell our viewers on Paramount 20 that the officials and the National Hockey League have reached an agreement, and I guess we can call it a tentative settlement, subject to the approval of the officials around the National Hockey League, but I don't think that will be a
Devil lead, Jim.
A game of inches. The Rangers come down 2-on-1. They missed by an inch, but look what happens. The Devils are going to counter. There's Richer with the puck. Look at number 10, Millen's going. It's McLean right here taking the shot. Look at the side of the net. Corey Millen rebound off the board.
Big Dale Hunter fan.
Don, I saw you on Hockey Night in Canada last Saturday night. You gave Dale Hunter the thumbs up for returning to action. Lo and behold, after 4 periods of play, this guy's out till January the 1st.
And not only that, he gets 2 points in the first game. A misconduct to the whole thing. Everybody was talking about him. He's the heart and soul of Washington, which he is, and everybody knows that. And as I said last year on Hockey Night in Canada, I said if anybody gets hurt and misses more than 5 games like Turgeon, and by the way, I heard Turgeon could have come back in 3 games, but geez, such a sweetie pie. If anybody misses over 5 games, he misses 10 games, well, then it's double. He should get 42 games. I understand that Dale is going to miss 14 games. This guy should get at least 40 games if we're going true. If it's true, where's all the whining? Where's all the crying, gnashing of teeth about from the New York media? Where's all the sky is going to fall? It's terrible. I don't see that at all. And this guy, I understand before, did a number on Hunter's brother down in the minors, so he's got the reputation. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again. It's who you do it to. That's the big T. That's the big thing. Because it's Dale Hunter, is it because it's Dale Hunter that this guy's going to get not going to get at least 20 games? I'll bet you he gets 4 games, and that's it. Now, Dale got 21, and this guy is going to get 4. I'll bet any money at all that's going to get 4, and that's going to be a shame because everybody knows, like I said at the start of this interview, how much Dale means to the Washington Caps, and that's going to be a damn shame, I'm telling you.
How about the situation here with the replacement official? Do you think a Kovalev would have taken the liberties had the regular referees been around?
Oh, yeah, you know, a lot of things are said like that. They say, oh, a game out of control. Well, let's face it. A lot of things happen when the regular guys are there. I don't go for that stuff and everything. They're saying it's the replacement guys and using that as an excuse. That's no excuse for this guy. This guy should get at least 20 games. I would like to see him get 25 games. And if he, like I said before, if he's going to miss 14 games, why not double it? I tell you what, Gary Bettman's in kind of a sticky situation now. I was just waiting for something like this to happen so I could jump on it. Little did I know it would be Dale that got it. I mean, it's ironic and a sad thing to think that this guy sits out all these games, 21, and his second game back, he's going to be out for all this time. How much can a guy take? I mean, it's enough to make you cry.
Thanks for the visit, Grapes.
Okay, Rivers.
Don Cherry joining us, the one and only Don Cherry, again, the Hockey Night Canada analyst, former coach of the Boston Bruins, and, of course, a big fan of Dale Hunter. Incidentally, Kovalev has been suspended indefinitely pending a hearing on Thursday. That hearing could, in fact, be moved up until tomorrow now that there has been a settlement in the National Hockey League strike. Again, if you're just joining us, the officials and the NHL have come to agreement. I wouldn't be surprised to see the officials back as early as tomorrow evening. And we'll be back.
As it becomes available, as Al says, if everything can be worked out, you could see the real referees and linesmen on ice on Thursday night. Next time we get together, we'll see you in 2 weeks. We'll give Morganti and Schoenfeld a couple of weeks off. December 14th, LA Kings and...
Sticks get high, and we'll wait and see if referee Drew Taylor assesses anything here.
Well, good job by the 2 Capital defensemen, the Big Curran and Ciccone, following through. And there's a good hit by Darius Kasparaitis, taking the body, sends Capital centerman Michael Palanka flying to the ice.
15 minutes and 48 seconds. Acton, now Acton and Berube. Those are good friends here. Keith Acton, we might mention, the former Capital, lost on waivers when they picked up Brian Curran, and he and the chief, Greg Berube, are
great friends, former teammates, and in Philadelphia and in Washington.
Good job by that line. Working, grinding, wearing down the Islander defenseman. Acton very disappointed to be claimed on waivers, having to come to the island. Had his family move to the Washington area, had his 2 kids in school. But, hey, I think in the long run, playing-wise, it's going to work out better for him. Although we expected Hunter to be back playing for the Capitals, so maybe he would have been a regular in the lineup. But with a healthy Hunter, he would have been the 5th centerman. Penalty, Poulin and Dean Chenoweth also came together on that play. Chenoweth, a former first-round pick. There's Kasparaitis and Berube with some pushing and shoving. But good work, and that's one of the things. Dave Poulin has been on the puck every shift he's been out there hustling. He's also playing with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Some good aggressive, some high elbows. Good feisty player by the veteran.
One of the better games we've seen Dave Poulin play for the Capitals this season, if not his best.
Well, he's another player that when we talk to Terry Murray, I've been doing scouting, you've been doing other things, don't see all the Capitals games, but he's a guy that he's talked about from the beginning of the season that has really picked up his play. We always know about his leadership, but he's now doing more and more on the ice for the Caps.
For his first shift since he and Vukota had words at their respective benches. Let's watch and see what develops. And it's Berube and Vukota again.
Coming back for a second beating.
Part 2. And again, just looking for position. They didn't have enough in the first period. They're back here again.
Vukota usually likes to tie guys up.
Vukota gets a good right, but look at now as Berube comes back.
Well, good job by Vukota. Ended up getting Craig a little off balance, but Craig really leaning with the head. Most of those punches hitting on the back of his helmet as he was trying to get his balance. Not much damage done, but I give credit to both combatants. Vukota, as we see a cut over his nose area, got the worst of the first encounter, but hey, he knows his job. He's a willing combatant and comes back the second time.
Well, this is probably going to be the best 2 out of 3 falls. And now we're tied 1-1.
Well, Mick Vukota, there they are talking off of the draw. You pointed that out. And right away, hey guys, let's get it going here. A little dance, a couple of fakes. They move in. Exchange some blows. Mick Vukota, a former Capital training camp attendee. My first training camp back in '86 was a free agent. That same year, a free agent by the name of Craig Berube tried out for the Philadelphia Flyers. Vukota went back and played junior that season, was then signed by the Islanders. Berube went to Hershey of the American Hockey League. They also knew each other quite well from the Western Hockey League, where they had played 3 seasons against each other and were known as 2 of the tougher players in that league, along with Ken Baumgartner.
5 minutes each for fighting for Vukota and Berube, so they've added to their penalty totals here, their second battle. And to Hawerchuk, and we may get something going here.
Now, they've assembled a kid line right here. Jones along with Hawerchuk and Peak. There's Hawerchuk bumping into Hextall. Now we have some pushing and shoving. Steve Thomas, also Dean Chenoweth, was summoned from Salt Lake City last week.
You know, these New York Islanders are a brave crew here without Dale Hunter in the lineup. And I noticed that the players in the newspaper today said they would have loved to have had a shot at Hunter last year. But they knew they had to think about the team first. Quite frankly, I think it's rather gutless to make a comment like that and not back it up with admitting who you are in print.
Yeah.
They wanted their names kept off the record, so to speak. And going after a kid like Steve Hawerchuk is not my way of showing that you've got any kind of strength or intestinal fortitude.
The only thing that you obviously look at with the amount of media you get here in New York, if you go and quote yourself in the paper using a name, the league gets a hold of that, and if Dale had played, an incident followed, you're going to be held responsible for that. So I can see it from the player's view, but hey, if you're not going to use your name to it, then like you said, just don't say anything at all.
Exactly. Ray Ferraro, by the way, and I was watching the game on satellite the other day. He may be in for a hearing of his own. Ferraro speared Kozlov, the young Detroit player. And I mean blatantly speared him in front of the television cameras, got away with it, no penalty at all. Ferraro's one of the guys that yapped quite a bit after the Hunter incident last year. And again, we don't condone what Dale did, but at the same time, there's a few players that have made some comments in the past and made some comments yesterday that have no business making those comments.
Well, even some of the media who don't cover hockey. I was listening to your talk show last week, and you had on the guy from the Baltimore Sun mentioning why not go down and watch Dale in his return. And hey, I don't want to go down and watch another brawl start. And I think people very often forget this is a guy who is a great offensive player. He's the quarterback of the Capitals power play. He gets them 80 points a year, between 70 and 80 points, plays hard for them. Just an excellent hockey player. Capitals again arguing with the linesman about where the faceoff is going to be. They're taking it outside of the zone. Now they're moving over a little bit back in, and looks like the Caps might get their way.
Well, no question there's bad blood between these two teams. Caps still smarting from last year's early exit from the Stanley Cup playoffs. Had to live with that thought all summer. Wanted to kill him. He's going to have to come here sometime, said another. That guy won't ever have an easy game here. And again, if you're going to make those kind of comments, I don't think that you want to be making them off the record.
Eric King on the Islander bench.
Off Hawerchuk. Hextall the save as he had the angle. Krieger sends it in front. We've got a delayed penalty as Hatcher is sent to the ice. Covers up, and McGinnis and Poulin separated by the linesman. Will step aside here as well.
Kay Jewelers presents a jewelry fashion tip from Cindy Crawford.
I'll agree this is going to be a roughing. He's working hard against McInnes. There was no arm of the referee going up on this play, though. Poulin went out to the right point, missed a hit on Malakoff. Malakoff in front of the referee, cross-checked Poulin in the back, in front of the Islander bench. The referee then raised his arm. I was expecting a Capital power play. Next thing we know, he turns around. This is where the roughing call is, working against McInnes.
I think the crowd called that one by Vasky. And if that's not a late hit and a cheap shot, I don't know what is.
No, it's definitely going to get ugly. Both Keith Allain and Terry Murray up on the Capitals bench, yelling at the linesman and the referee, and that's exactly what happens when you let things go. There's another shot between Ridley and Vasky.
And Ridley's upset, and justly so. That's the kind of thing the NHL wants to get away from. Hitting from behind up against the boards.
Yeah,
and that's precisely what happened.
It's a late hit, and it's doubly the damage you mentioned when it's near the board area, and especially if you're going head first.
Bring on the regular officials. That's all I've got to say.
Oh, yeah. Well, at least they're ending on a note where we won't miss them. Vasky also heading to the penalty box, so we'll stay 4-on-4. Even though we have two more coincidental minors, we do not go down to the 3-on-3. What do you think? Would you like to see that back in the NHL?
No. 4-on-4 is good enough for me.
Really, I'd like to see the 3-on-3. I think with the skill level being taken away with some of the systems that people are playing a defensive style, I think having a 3-on-3 back in the National Hockey League would open things up, and we'd see a little more of the offense and great skill that some of the European players are bringing to the National Hockey League. There's that hit by Vasky. Ridley going in awkwardly. Don't forget, Ridley, although knock on wood, this season has not been bothered, but many times has a bad back, and it's hits like that after the whistle into the boards in an awkward motion that caused.
Kristich now. The feed for Bure. Johansson with a shot wide. Ferraro behind the net. LaChance to Ferraro. Ferraro hit from behind by Kristich. Burridge tries to sneak away with the puck, but he's held up by LaChance, looking for the face-off, and they get it. 3:57 left.
Well, the 4-on-4 benefiting the Capitals. Good hard work by Kristich and Burridge. And there's Jones driving hard to the net, but a good quick shot by Pavanka coming across the blue line in perfect position.
Got to shoot more.
Yeah, Keith Allain, a former goaltender, one of the things he instructed the players on the Capitals to do, shoot to the feet of Hextall. And it should have shot a foot off the ice in between the legs. Almost finds its way. There's Patrick Flatley. He has that protective guard. Hurt his jaw in a Philadelphia game.
Coming out of the penalty box.
That little bit of a delay that Neely put on Jocelyn Thibault. Thibault responds by going down. He anticipated Neely shooting the puck when he first winds up. Watch the delay Neely makes. Right here, the adjustment, a little waiver, then he snaps it through the 5-hole. Thibault cannot believe that puck got through. A heavy shot, nice play by Reed. Now watch Neely, he's gonna, right here, he's gonna wind up and then change the old body weight. Snaps it through the 5-hole.
Ray Bourque made that.
Poulin wins the face-off, but Islanders send it towards the net. Ferraro one-hands, but right to Kristich. Todd Krieger
Held up by Thomas. Able to make the play into the offensive zone. To the net goes Johansson. Todd Krieger in the corner. Looks for Kristich behind the net. Ferraro draped all over him. Krieger slips and falls. So too does Kristich as he was hauled down by Ferraro. And again, that one went undetected. Less than a minute to go in this scoreless second period. Kristich from the right wing. Kristich away from Ferraro, gets the knee in the midsection. I don't know what the officials have got to do to call a penalty here. Ferraro kneeing Kristich in the midsection, and play whistled down on the offside.
And all the Capitals standing. Ferraro now coming back towards the bench area, but twice Kristich first hauled down right in front by Ferraro. So he was trying to turn the puck from the corner and get a shot on Hextall. Then right in front of the bench, Ferraro without his stick comes flying across and not getting a full piece of Kristich. Puts knee on knee, which is always a dangerous play.
My friend Don Cherry, who was our first intermission guest, had some strong comments about this guy after the Dale Hunter injury.
Either.
And very uncomplimentary after the incident last spring.
Ferraro working. There's Todd Krieger working hard. Ferraro against Kristich coming out of the corner. Dimitri so strong on the puck, using his skates one-handed. Look at the arm right there, just holding him. Nothing Dima could do.
That wasn't the worst of the two shots Kristich took on that shift. Got a knee right in front of the Capitals bench.
That's one of Dimitri's great strengths, so shielding people.
Test remains to be seen.
Looked like a deflection by Donato.
A better look at it here. Eddie's certainly in the right position screening it. There's the shot. It'll be Steve Leach.
Hines and Simon. Simon, some solid lefts and some help for Hines there. And he got back at Simon.
He got up at him a little bit, took a couple, stood his ground, Stevie Hines.
And the score is Boston 5 and Quebec nothing. We'll be back in a moment.
It's Domino's 20. Dakota and Berube. We need Vince McMahon here, WWF. What's this all about? This is nonsense.
Good old Western Hockey League. Come on, get in there.
Dakota won the second, Berube the first. And they wrestled to the ice in the third.
And they're both going to be heading to the dressing room. 3 fighting majors and you're out. So both players will leave after not much of a finale. Both
draw
players,
there.
Yeah, both players playing their role. Dakota normally known for that style. Likes to grab a hold of a player, not always exchange the punches, but really try to almost wrestle or throw a guy down, WWF style.
You know, they may not get majors for that one.
Oh, no, you have to. You drop the gloves, you square off like that. They got to get 5-minute majors.
Well, Dakota's being ushered into the penalty box, and now Berube will follow. I bet you he gives him double minors.
Well, he ends up, that's going to be a bonus, or at least
it's a gift.
He wants to see part 4, I guess. The linesmen are saying, hey, get these guys out of here. We don't have to break them up again in the hockey game.
Washington penalty number 27, Frank Berube. Islanders penalty number 12, Rick Dakota. 2 minutes each for delay of the game, and they each receive a 10-minute misconduct. Penalties 9 seconds.
Are they 10-minute misconducts or unsportsmanlike conduct penalties?
Well, they got 2 each for delay a game. Yeah, 2 each for delay a game, 2 minutes, plus they each get 10-minute misconducts tagged on that. So we'll need a player from each bench to serve those 2-minute minors. Steve Konowalchuk's headed over from the Capital bench, and how an Islander. We'll see who it is.
Penalty's coming at 9 seconds, so that will effectively take Berube and Dakota out of most of this third period. They'll be back with less than 8 minutes remaining.
And it'll be Joe Day heading to the bench here in the penalty box area. We haven't seen him on the ice since the first period when he ran into Hatcher. He missed the whole second period.
He's got that shield, but Todd Krieger is bent over, and look at the plays continuing.
Terry Murray's on the bench. He's almost over the board area.
Todd Krieger and Kasparaitis and Iafrate get sticks out. But Krieger, who's got the face shield.
Here comes Dean Chenault, knowing that his value to the Islanders compared to that of Iafrate to the Capitals is greatly different, trying to take Al off of the ice.
Well, I got to tell you, I'm happy that these Regular officials are coming back. Somebody's going to be seriously hurt here. And tonight this game has got far too chippy. And I'm not just saying from a Islander perspective. The Caps of themselves got a little chippy in this hockey game.
Well, we expected a heated battle. Right there, Krieger doing nothing wrong, though, just driving around the net, trying to stuff that puck on Hextall. The defenseman, the Islander defenseman, pushing him into the goaltender. And he ends up getting a stick up high, no call. He actually went to the bench. Here's the good work behind the net. Poulin taking the puck off of King, and then the stuff by Krieger. And here we come, a nice butt end on, a nice cross check across his face by Dean Chenault. Maybe they can review this call, or maybe the linesmen are going to talk to him, but we should have seen a penalty. Look at that. Oh, look at that across the face. Krieger went to the bench area quickly. Stanley Wong noticed there was a cut on him and quickly sent him over to talk to the referee. That would be the difference between a double minor or single minor for high sticking and a 5-minute major, which would greatly benefit the Caps.
There you can see that he has been cut. And by all rights, there should be a 5-minute major and a game misconduct penalty assessed. Hatcher backing up the referee in the Capital zone.
Absolutely ridiculous.
The linesman
over call right there.
And I think Hatcher's going to get a penalty.
Get a misconduct here.
Terry Murray doesn't realize that Hatcher's been given a penalty until now. He lifts his head.
This
look
can
at
really get out of control at this point. You got the Capitals absolutely irate in a close hockey game. Terry Murray, he almost came onto the ice on that last play. As the puck came up, Terry put the 1 foot on the ledge of the boards and was trying to elevate himself up to get as close to the referee as he possibly could. Now waving his arm in disgust, just saying, hey.
Well, 41 seconds, the time of the penalty here to Kevin Hatcher.
Now what they're doing, the Capitals at the bench area with timeout on the ice. He's trying to draw. He's got the linesman over there, but he's now trying to draw the referee over to the bench so he can get words in with him. Doesn't get much more frustrating than that for the Capitals coach. The team playing some good hockey lately at home against St. Louis and Pittsburgh. A tough loss to the Rangers, coming in here with all the build-up. Now to get such poor officiating, that hurts.
Well, the good news is the 2-week official strike is over and should have been settled long before this. Joe LaPointe in the New York Times writing a column and actually criticizing the commissioner Gary Bettman for not resolving it earlier.
Minnesota State screaming Eagle.
And the Caps have tied it up.
And right there we see the Islanders arguing. I think they think that Johansson scored that off of his skate, but I think it first went off his skate and then he got a piece of it with his stick and put it in. We're going to have a replay of this, but I think it is going to result in a Capital goal. Here's the first rush by Kristich. A good save by Hextall. The rebound. There's Dave Poulin again on the puck. Kristich comes around. Johansson jumping into the play. There it is. Off the skate, off the stick, and in. And it's going to be a tied hockey game, and thank God the Caps deserve it.
Way to go, Eagle Eye.
And again, Johansson, the first goal of the hockey game.
What's that? I can't believe it. They've denied the Johansson goal, and all Johansson did was kick it from his skate to his stick and then direct it in.
Absolutely. There's not. I can't believe that's being waved off. Maybe we'll get a better angle here. There it is off the skate, and looks like he jammed it with his stick. Well, the people up above didn't think he got a piece of that with his stick, and again,
and it looks like he gets his stick on it.
Well,
but the overhead replay maybe brings the shadow of doubt. And here it is once again. Watch now. He kicks it. Did he get a stick on it?
Yeah,
you really can't
a better
tell.
replay. It looked like maybe Hextall did.
Side, 17:37 left.
Mix up in the corner. Kristich and Green getting the gloves up a little bit high. The play continues up. Flatley comes up, gets an elbow, partial shoulder. Looked like a pretty clean check. Then Dimitri with a hit of his own as the play came up ice, hitting the gloves up high on an Islander. Here's a wide shot on a bounce to Travis Green, going for the high blocker side, about 2 feet wide.
Featherstone trying to get the rights in before he gets the lefts in. That's just a matter of losing the balance, but Featherstone gets a couple in from down low.
Well, that's 2 fights for Simon. He fought Hines, He fights Featherstone. And I would say that might be the biggest cheer of the night for Simon by the crowd. Pretty sparse now.
Of Hextall, and look at this, flatly all over Kristen.
And Calle Johansson, he's limping to the Capitals bench, his right leg. I didn't even watch the play if an Islander followed through with a slash, but a good low shot rate there, a little wide. With Pat Peake in front of goaltender Ron Hextall. There's Calle limping off. Whether he twisted that ankle on the shot or an Islander caught him, I did not see. I was following the puck as it was going to the net. And we can grab up a replay. His trainer Stanley Wong comes over to talk to him.
Calle's had a strong game tonight, paired with his partner Kevin Hatcher. And let's look at this.
There it is, the one-timer, a nice shot. There he is, just going over on that ankle. Such delicate balance when you're taking that puck into your body. And
off the goal post. He had Hextall beat, and he hit it off the post. The Capitals defenseman acting as forwards there. And Iafrate had Hextall beat.
Iafrate bursting past Turgeon, and there's the shot beating Hextall to the short side. Join the Capitals.
Into the open net.
And the Hats are coming down here in Long Island. That's the hat trick for Travis Green. And again, a 2-on-1 rush, the 5th time in the hockey game. The Islanders capitalize on a rush off the right side. This time on a rebound. A bad bounce at the offensive blue line. Actually getting across, makes the save. The puck rolls over him. And there's Green going to the net. Follow it up on the play, puts the backhander in. And the Islanders, I've got to say, undeserved.
Kristich, after Poulin is denied, Kristich in, and it's a 1-goal game.